2-in-1 grips, 3G footwear, Master accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events are aligned with charities Ballard versus the Big C and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from the All-Star Lanes in Baton Rouge, it's the SYC Louisiana. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Louisiana, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm Youth Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under age 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 grips, 3G footwear, Master accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events are aligned with charities Ballard versus the Big C and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from the All-Star Lanes in Baton Rouge, it's the SYC Louisiana. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Louisiana, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm Youth Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under age 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 grips, 3G footwear, Master accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events are aligned with charities Ballard versus the Big C and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from the All-Star Lanes in Baton Rouge, it's the SYC Louisiana. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Louisiana, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm Youth Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under age 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 grips, 3G footwear, Master accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events are aligned with charities Ballard versus the Big C and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from the All-Star Lanes in Baton Rouge, it's the SYC Louisiana. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Louisiana, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm Youth Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under age 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 grips, 3G footwear, Master accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events are aligned with charities Ballard versus the Big C and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from the All-Star Lanes in Baton Rouge, it's the SYC Louisiana. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Louisiana, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm Youth Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under age 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 grips, 3G footwear, Master accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events are aligned with charities Ballard versus the Big C and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from the All-Star Lanes in Baton Rouge, it's the SYC Louisiana. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Louisiana, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm Youth Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under age 18. And by KEGEL.
All right, welcome back. We are here at the SYC in Louisiana. I am joined by Stephanie Johnson. Hello, Steph.
Hey there.
How's it going?
It is good.
Now, this is not your first SYC. You've been to an SYC before, right?
The one that was in Fort Worth.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So,
My backyard.
What is your overall feeling of the SYC?
Well, I think it's everything you hear people talk about. I mean, it's kind of a culmination of the best from, whether it's just the area or, there are people that travel from quite a distance. And it's essentially, the youth tour, that I've heard people chatting about as I'm walking down the concourse. It's just really cool because they get to bowl in 3 different patterns and, just kind of testing their ability as far as the transition goes and the mindset. I don't know. I just think it's really neat. Some of the kids have asked questions as Claire and I have been walking up and down of how we do certain things like on the PWBA. And
yeah.
It's no different than what these kids experience,
Well, and, testing their abilities, but Elliot Gordon tested the entire field today on the short pattern, which was challenging for most.
It did not look easy.
Elliot went plus 262. He averaged 252.4. I'm going to give him his 0.4. He bowled games at 296, 218, 256, 225, 267. And he's bowling now on the medium on lane 6. But
that's absolutely insane.
Crazy block.
And as far as this tournament goes, I know there's, winners of the squad.
Yes.
But overall, there's going to be a champion based on the 3 different patterns.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get out of the gates with that kind of score, there's just maybe a little less tension the next
think?
block.
Yeah, really.
Which isn't to say you don't, take your mind off the prize and
sure.
you don't try as hard, but it's definitely a different sort of feeling when you're coming in with, I don't even know how many 100 pins he was ahead of the second place person.
Oh, yeah, we can look. I mean, yeah, so he's almost 200 pins.
180 pins ahead of second at the moment,
Yeah.
So my mindset, if I were him, going into these next couple of blocks is to just kind of keep my emotions in check.
Right.
Try to not dig myself a hole, not necessarily think about that you have to lead every squad.
No, yeah.
But just, again, I tell everybody, listen to what the lane is telling you to do. It may not tell you what you want to hear, because maybe we want to see something different, but the lane and the ball motion doesn't lie.
Right.
It's just a matter of trying to match up to how you can cater to what it's asking of you.
Yeah. It truly was impressive. I mean, we heard early on that someone had bowled 296, and I was watching, these pairs, and we'll see truly this round whether the pairs these pairs got tricky specifically down at this end. And I talked to a couple people who came down to this end, and this was their lowest game of the block. So I'm interested to see if this round, if the pair was tricky, or maybe they just transitioned odd last round. So we'll see how it goes. But
it's so hard to say too, because they were bowling earlier on the short pattern.
Yes.
So the majority of some people were playing further to the right.
Yes.
So there's just centers where the right or the left for lefties, of course, just is not in play.
Right.
We encounter that a lot, and you get kind of so stuck in that this is where I have to bowl, this is where I need to see my ball, cross at the arrows, etc. When, maybe that lane or even that pair just, it's not working.
Right.
And before you know it, it's the 8th frame and you're on pace for 160. So It's hard. It's not easy.
No. So the short pattern this morning was 37 feet, 25 mils. This afternoon, the medium pattern is 41 feet with 27 mils. So still pretty heavy volume and 41 in distance. And
Medium patterns, in general, I feel are the trickiest.
That's how I feel too.
Because you kind of have to play it to the best of your ability and what you can repeat.
Yeah, because there's multiple ways to attack them, right? Usually.
I think so.
Like, out usually maybe has a look, in has a look. So you're right.
It just depends on, what you're really comfortable with, right? And at the end of the day, it's just a matter of managing the pocket. You want to get to a place where you feel comfortable in being able to repeat, and then if you're not striking, leaving things that are makeable.
Absolutely.
And I think that's true no matter what pattern you're bowling on. And that's what kind of separates, in my opinion, the good bowlers from the great bowlers. The great ones can kind of manage that pocket a little better. Even if it's just one extra frame a game over the course of 15 games, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting because you're going to see a lot of people probably playing around the track or left and just trying to keep that ball a little closer to the pocket as opposed to maybe earlier where there was a little more friction. They were farther from it. But, there's so many variables of this lovely thing we do.
It's
the ball they're throwing.
You mean it's not
the
just
way
easy?
they rotate it, how
not
fast they throw it, or slow.
Oh man, it really is the hardest sport. I think it really there's so many different things that go into it. So
yeah, it's yesterday during our Q&A when someone was asking us, what's the secret? I'm like, well, there really is no secret. As far as
they really wanted you to tell them though.
The right thing to do because every moment is so unique in what is demanded of you. It may be a ball change.
Yeah.
Or it may be something physical. It may be a combination of both. And that's what makes it so challenging because there's no cookie cutter way necessarily to attack the lane the same way every time.
Right.
I know a lot of these kids bowl many of these SYCs and you bowl on a short, medium, long. They're not the same ones, but they may be coming into an event thinking, well, this is how I played the medium last time.
Right.
And it's completely different.
I think you bring up a really good point. Now, do you keep a notebook?
Sort of.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't keep it in regards to, it's the Bible for me.
Right. You just kind of write notes.
I note take a little bit, but, it's more from block to block as far as if I'm seeing tendencies like, the low side of the center seems to play tighter or the high end hooks more, whatever the case may be of how I see them.
Right.
Not necessarily how the pattern played.
Sure.
But
yeah. So I have heard some, these youth players, they bowl in certain centers over and over throughout their youth careers. Like, say you live in Texas, right?
Right.
And you're bowling the SYC here at All-Star Lanes this weekend in Louisiana. You may not know it, but there's another tournament that comes through in a couple of years that bowls at All-Star. And if you keep notes on, hey, how did the center play, you could maybe reuse it like you're talking about. Or you remember tendencies. Like, the pattern may not play exactly the same, but maybe like you said, maybe the gutter doesn't play here. Maybe you learned that this morning. Like, oh man, it's a short pattern that's for one tournament. You're bowling on a short pattern the whole time. Gutter's not going to play.
Right.
Like, those are important things, and you never know when you might revisit a center.
It's sort of a catch-22, and I say that because, again, even if you do revisit that center, some of those tendencies may not show up.
True.
Because it could be because of the pattern you played on. So I think it's great to take notes. I do take notes. But I also think it's great to not really look so much at them that they are absolutely everything.
Right.
I think it's important to just, maybe take note of the approaches. Are they slippery? Are they sticky? It's a wood center with synthetic lanes. Great. Things like that, I think are important.
Well, I think what's amazing too, and we're in Louisiana, right? And this weekend, thankfully, it's not super humid. But if you
Right.
come back in May or June
Oh,
or
absolutely.
July,
It'll be like Swamp Thing.
yeah, exactly. So I think knowing your climate is so important. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many things, you know, and again, it's a lot of them are just beyond your control.
Right.
So that's what makes it a little more challenging because you have no say in certain aspects of it.
I did get a special request this round, and so I'm gonna do it, and hopefully the people that are watching, the camera at the below is 9 through like 15ish, and we have a couple people that they are bowling on lane 9, so they just missed the live stream pair.
Okay.
And I said, oh, I'll try to put them up a little bit so that people can see. It's tiny. Maybe I have another angle that is a little bigger, I think. Gary did pop in. Hello, Gary.
You can get a little view of them.
Yeah, this one's a bigger one. I'll come back to our main pair, but we're going to show this camera for a minute. Gary Holsenberg's in the chat. He's actually going to be live streaming tomorrow. Beat the Champs is happening in Chicago, and we're going to have dueling live streams tomorrow.
That's fun.
Yeah, so tomorrow the youth are playing, and they're trying to beat the score of Danielle and Kyle Troop.
Beat
and
the
then
Champs.
in the afternoon, the adults are playing, and the kids are bowling for $5,000 of scholarship, and the adults are playing for $10,000.
Oh my gosh!
You want to go beat the champ?
Can I participate in that?
I think you're excluded because you have that little professional job that you do.
Dang. See, amateurs can make a lot of money.
We were talking about this earlier. Kids, whatever path you choose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun, actually. Is it a certain amount of games, like a total series?
So it is a total series. I think it's a 3-game, 2 or 3 game. Gary might have to comment because the target score, Kyle and Danielle set the score back in January. And so then everyone, it's kind of like the Ford event where people qualify through league and then they qualify to go and try to beat the champs on this one day.
Win the prize.
Yes, but it's a historic event. It's 66 years old, and it's 66th annual.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I hope they put up a massive score that people have to really claw to get.
I think Kyle did set a pretty high score, so
I wouldn't be surprised by either one of them for that matter.
Oh yeah, no kidding, right?
Jeez Louise.
Mr. Elliott, he's still striking. Don't worry, he's back. He had a little 2-frame after lunch. I averaged 250 this morning.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just miss my 7-pin and then follow it up with the turkey. Many, many, many times that's happened.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's really funny because Elliot and Miles, they're from Columbus.
Okay.
And they bowl a lot of events. And I can't remember. They both bowl so good. So the 2 boys are bowling on the same pair.
Right.
They both shoot 300s a lot. And so I'm friends with one of their parents, and I always see, like, Miles shoots 300, Elliot shoots 300, and I'm like, I can't even keep – I want to know what the record is.
It's just a lot of strikes.
Yeah.
Is it, we're trying to beat each other or what? Are we just that good that it just happens?
Who is the leader right now? Is Miles or Elliot the leader in honor scores? That's what I want to know. So we see Mr. Gabe here. He's going for a 10-pin. See, these scores are higher this round. Nice, solid conversion.
So that leads me to believe it's not that
good.
We are
the jinx
with any bad pairs. We discussed earlier that it could literally be the pattern dictating that the pairs just don't seem as playable.
Right.
Again, maybe the right or the left, of course, the extremes just aren't conducive to the shorter patterns.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what makes it hard because you just think that's where I have to play, and you really just have to pay attention to what that lane is telling you.
That was a solid shot by Luke on lane 6. That was awesome. 10 back. And he sat down he's like, yeah, I meant to do that.
Well, he shot enough spares, so he was happy with that. He didn't have to anymore.
Right? We did you do see a lot of I Am Bowling jerseys. We just took a I Am Bowling group photo of all of the youth that were wearing jerseys, and I think the whole tournament was out there, pretty much.
It's crazy, yeah.
There were a lot of I Am Bowling jerseys today.
There's some cool ones that are like the Mardi Gras theme. I see a lot of them rocking.
That's the official tournament of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Or, official jersey of Louisiana.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
It sticks out.
Love it.
I'm kind of into that stuff.
You are. The sparkles.
That's kind of my thing. Like, why fit in if you could stand out? You know, like just kind of be true to who you are, and that's it.
Well, I loved that in the seminar yesterday when they asked, what would you tell your 16-year-old self? Well, I loved your first answer.
I think the parents did too. The kids might not have understood.
Yeah, they're like, what?
What is she talking about?
They'll understand later in life when they look back. But
when they realize the boy doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But then you guys went down this path of being authentic to who you are, which I think is so true and so important for kids to hear. It's okay. Sometimes bowling isn't cool at school, right? I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It just has this stigma, you know, and I don't know that anybody has the answer as to why. You know, maybe the nostalgia of it, or just, I don't know, that it's not as seen,
right?
Maybe as other sports. But, you know, I spent way too much time caring about what other people thought. And I said, you know what? You walk your path. I'm going over here. And if we cross at some point again, great. If not, then, you know, move on. You know, as you get older, of course, your circle of friends always changes.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of, you know, life, I would say.
Absolutely.
You move, you're into different things. You know, now I have mommy friends. It's just things change.
Yeah.
So
nice pickup on lane
that was
7.
awesome.
Yeah. That was great.
There's nothing worse than shooting a washout when you think you have it and it wraps around it.
That is the worst
It's
feeling.
so deflating because you're like, oh, I nailed that. And then you didn't.
Yeah. It's
like,
a hard one.
Oh,
Mr. Blake.
so
Blake
frustrating.
Care. I like his last name. He cares.
Mm,
I bet he's never heard that before.
but yeah,
he has.
and that's probably not even how you say it.
It's probably not. Well, it was so
Who
funny because
knows?
a few of the U15 girls, two of them were medalists, and they were on that pair. I can't remember if I was with you or Clara, but I butchered everyone's last name.
Oh,
and
my
so
gosh.
I was telling two of them, I'm like, I'm so sorry. So they're like, we're used to it.
They're
And
like,
so
it's normal,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Let's see if we have some bios. I'm waiting on our sheet that says who's bowling here. I can, if the kids are wearing names on the back, then I can make them out. All right,
Oh, of
Mr.
course.
Blake does. Blake has a bio. He's 14.
Okay.
This is his first SYC.
Oh, my gosh. And he's from Louisiana. I wonder how far that is from here. I'm going to Google that.
Mediterranean.
Oh, Kenner? Kenner's not that far.
AMF Kenner, Louisiana. Favorite pro bowler, Jason Belmonte and Chris Vi, two good ones.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about bowling? Knocking the pins down with the ball. This is what you get when you...
That is so
Yeah.
funny. That is the goal
Yeah.
every single time.
Right. Favorite bowling achievement, earning the top spot on my high school varsity team and shooting his high game of 263.
Awesome.
He's really good at art and academics, and he wants to say hi to his mom, dad, and sister who are here with him, and then his grandparents who are watching at home. I always joke with
That's so
Gary
cool.
that the reason that we do these live streams are for the grandparents at home. So hi, Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah. If you are watching right now,
Yeah.
shout out to you.
We love when the grandparents are watching.
You know, and it's really neat because they're afforded that opportunity.
Yes.
That they don't actually have to be here. And then some centers, you know, like this one where you can score watch.
Lane Talk. Our
Yeah.
friends from Lane Talk.
It's awesome.
And I want to shout out All Star Lanes because this is my first time here. Leanne came and visited earlier this year.
Mhm.
But this bowling center, Kim and her team are so into all of the modern improvements
Technology.
or enhancements
Yeah.
of bowling centers. So they have Lane Talk installed, which it's free for bowling centers to sign up. You just contact the Lane Talk people. They have great scoring system or scoring units. Like
Yeah.
you can see the scores. Sometimes, you know, you're squinting. You're like, I can't
Yeah.
really see the lighting in
These
here.
are the
It's
exact
amazing.
same. Mhm.
Like, it is just shout out to All Star Lanes. They really care. You know, you've met.
And they've been super awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean, this morning I'm having internet issues, and
Like,
the
it's
mechanic is back here helping me. I'm like, this never happens.
I'm sorry, sir. Who are you?
Yeah, really. Thank you. Can I shake your hand?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, really.
Now, please go get that dead wood.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're hanging up banners. They are working hard here. So great. This is a great host.
It's awesome because you can tell genuinely, like, the Southern hospitality is just so genuine, and it's very different here, meaning Louisiana, than anywhere I've been. We were at dinner the other night, and I think the waitress called me, like, honey, baby, sweetheart, like every other word. And I'm like, I don't know if this is awkward or kind of cool, flattering, but it's just the way they talk, you know, and it's just like, okay, you know, great, thanks, you know.
Oh yeah, a lot of the kids are checking in this weekend with the yes ma'am, and I'm like, oh my goodness, so sweet. Like,
and ma'am makes you feel old.
It does
I'm
make
not
you
gonna
feel
lie,
old.
but
I know, I struggle a little bit with it, but
on the other hand, it's very respectful,
polite,
and I'm just like, you're welcome. Thank you for saying please and just having manners, and you know, it's refreshing.
It is. There's hope for the next generation. Actually, the next generation's cool. They've got it figured out. I feel cool because yesterday Stephanie showed me, Stephanie and Clara, I should say, showed me the sneakers app. I downloaded it today.
You did?
I did.
Oh, snap.
I'm going to get in the sneakers game.
No way.
I am. Sean Ryan, if you're listening.
I had so many people today tell me how cool my shoes were.
Those were cool shoes.
And they're like,
these are cool today, too.
They're like, your shoes match your outfit. I'm like, that's the goal. You got to buy the shoes, and then you got to design the outfit, you know. And lucky for me, I do my own, so it's easy. But
all right, Mr. Xavier here. I hope I didn't just jinx him by saying his name. I did.
Which one? Oh, on lane 8, yes.
Lane 8, he had a 5-bagger, and then I said his name, and he left a 10-pin.
Well, I mean, you said it after he threw it, so
I tried.
It was kind of
tried to wait. I waited as long. I didn't say anything before. I noticed it about 5 minutes ago. Nope.
Yeah, there's some pretty decent scores right now. So this division, is this U18?
I think this is a mix of U15, U18, because Elliot's U15.
Right. But, I mean, I literally can't even tell. Like, all these kids look 18 to me.
I know, yeah. And actually, this might even, because I thought Miles was U12. He is. So we have U12. This might be U12, U15, U18. There might be a little bit of both. Or just like a mixture. You know, there was.
So they don't bowl within their own people?
Normally they do. This tournament was unique in that there were many, many changes in the last week.
As far as entries?
Yeah, like
people coming out,
withdrawals,
going in, waiting last.
So a whole bunch of different things happened. Kids were getting hurt. Kids were just, you know, kids being kids, right?
Yeah, couldn't make it or whatever the case.
So it was a little unique. So I think that's why there's a few pairs that are pretty mixed.
Gotcha.
And then I think Miles also, we do try to keep the siblings together because if you're one parent and you're trying to watch 2 kids.
From a spectating perspective, it's very challenging to be on lane 6 and then lane 56. You know?
It's a big house.
You know.
So we tried to take care of the parents a little bit. So Miles just might be bowling up, which, you know, he's
not a bad thing. He's holding his own this game.
Yeah. I don't think he gets overwhelmed at all.
He's like he's the righty. He's got his brother as the lefty.
Yeah. He's like, I got this. No problem. See Miss Barb in the chat. I got to see Barb Hartgrove when I was in Ohio last weekend. Hello.
Oh, nice.
She's tuning in to watch the Gordon brothers.
Oh, fun.
I think they bowl out of the house that, I'm not sure if Barb still coaches, but she used to coach at Sequoia Pro Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Which is one of the top youth programs in Columbus.
That's awesome.
I think the Gordon boys bowl there. All right, so
coming to a close this game.
They're bowling quicker too.
More
Feels
strikes.
Like it. Yeah.
They're like, ooh, less spare shooting, more strikes.
They're still making their spares though. Some of them. Somewhat.
I love watching the mannerisms of some of the players. You can see it all in their face, which makes me think, man, I need to do a better job myself. Because I'm sure there's times where I turn around and it just says whatever it says. But
yeah, you don't think about that very often. What does your face say?
yeah,
Dr. Dean actually talked about that years ago. He did a seminar for parents and kids. He did one for parents and one for kids. And he actually talked to parents about it. Because as a parent, you don't know what your face is doing all the time. You may not be cognizant.
Right.
But the youth bowler is walking off of the pair or walking off of the lane. You're the first thing that they look at when they're coming
looking
off.
for you.
Right. And what is your face doing?
Right. What is your face telling them?
Yeah.
Is it disappointment?
Right.
Is it excitement? Is it nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. He almost said if you develop a more neutral kind of watching face almost, it might be better. Because you don't want to give them more emotion because they have emotion.
Yeah.
They
Especially
don't
if
want to be
it's
bowling
frustration.
bad. Right.
I'm sure my kids see it all over my face just day to day of whatever's going on, you know?
They're
It's
what's wrong?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Mommy's mad at me, or ooh, she's really happy.
Yeah. Right.
Or whatever the case may be.
It's hard. It's hard. I'll tell you what. Shout out to all the parents. We've been talking about it all day, but parents are the true superheroes out here.
It is quite interesting to walk up and down the concourse and just watch, just literally watching and observing and listening to some of the parents and the things they talk about and what they say. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy of what I would say to my kid or not say to my kid,
Yeah.
Not judging, of course, at all.
Sure.
Just being very observant of what's happening.
Right.
And it just makes you wonder. I'm like, wow, what's that car ride going to be like going home? You know?
Really. Yeah. How will that feel?
Right. The good, the bad, and everything in between. Oof.
He
almost carried that.
He did almost carry that.
Thankfully, he carried that 6-pin.
True. So I'm trying to see. So we had a 193. I think that was Miles with the 193 of the D. Mr. Luke here. He's having a slow start, I would say. Although he can get to 171. This is when you do sit back and look. If you're Luke here and you're looking up at your score and you may not be overly pleased, or maybe you are pleased, but he can strike out here for 171. And if you look around next to him, he's got 160 or 134, 165. To the right, there's a 150, some other 150s. So, you might be right on pace. Don't panic yet.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I mentioned it earlier of how many people actually pay attention to the score in the regard of letting it kind of control them.
Yeah.
As opposed to just bowling.
Right.
Because in my mind, anytime I shoot up, I feel like I'm always giving it my best. But I think if you're below the scoring pace, you always try a little harder.
Yeah.
Something's got to give a little extra, another strike a frame per game, or whatever the case may be.
Right. You're trying to make it happen.
In that moment, though, it may work against you.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know.
True. It's tricky. Bowling is a tricky sport.
And the parents don't always have the answers as much as the kids
want them to.
May want them to. Oh,
that was
a stone 8?
Stone 8 for Gabe. And look at his game.
Oof.
Turkey, spare.
Yeah. I mean,
man,
solid
it's a great game. It's a great game, but he really wanted. He was like, I really wanted that, because that's one of those games that you're like, I'm gonna make the most of this game, this pair, because man, it is.
Yeah, because it's feeling good.
It's letting me have it.
My swing is a little loose.
Yeah, and then.
And I want to say,
Mr. Apid.
The first game, not should be, but might be always the highest for you because,
Oh, that's all right. Shake it off, Gabe. You're still 224. Still a really solid game.
Gosh darn it.
That's a bummer.
But the first game, there's not as much play on the lane except for the people you're with.
Right, and the transition.
You're kind of watching them. but then you're going to move a couple pairs, and you're kind of hopeful. Well, maybe they're playing the same part, but at the same time, you're following whoever you're following. So there's
Absolutely.
different balls going down the lanes from different places, and if they're not really going to look and pay attention, you never really know.
I'll be right here. Just let me know when.
Xavier finishes up with 215 there on lane 8. He was the other player that I jinxed. Look, he had a 5-bagger. I mentioned him. 9 out, split, strike, open.
8-1.
Like,
Well,
before
Blair.
that,
Yes.
Savian, I will take complete credit for your game. I am so sorry. You are moving away from me. Continue striking.
However, the good thing is he still shot 215.
That's
even
true.
though he had some errant shots in there.
Yeah, he had the Blair Jinx come in.
The adverse effect could have been a 180 game or something.
Very true.
He had a lot of strikes to back it up.
I love your positive outlook on everything, Steph. It's great. Well, and I do want to give you a shout out, and I don't know, I can't remember if I told you this or not, but so one of your roles in your many hats that you wear, you actually help us with the Rotogrip social media, which you're awesome at. But anyone that follows the Rotogrip Women page, I get compliments all the time on the little bits of wisdom that you share every week.
Every week, yeah.
And I say, oh, that's all Steph, because you do a good job of pulling in little positive thoughts. And I think a lot of people, if you need some positivity in your life, go like that page, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've spent many a years not seeing the glass half full, that it doesn't make any sense not to see that.
Love it.
That way, you know. I mean, there's always a silver lining.
Yeah.
You just have to choose to see it. You know, and that's kind of what I mentioned yesterday in the Q&A. It's like, I've been 14, 15, 16 before. I get it. Like, I was not this way when I was that age.
Sure.
You know, so when that lady asked me that question, you know, that's part of it as well. It's like, you have control over it if you want to.
Yes.
Believe what you want to believe and how you want to see things, but there has to be like a turning point for people, like an aha moment of like the light bulb going off, that everything mom and dad's telling me is actually true.
It has to click.
It just has to click.
I love it.
And it happens at different points for people.
It does. All right, we're going to take a short break because we have no bowling in front of us. We're going to let the bowlers move to this pair. I think they're coming from the high end. Steph, thanks for joining us. We'll have you back in.
I'll be back.
Game 4.
At some point, okay?
Yeah, I like game 4. So, if you're sticking around, please do. We'll have some more bowl. I think Brady, the bowling science kid, is appearing.
Brady's coming, Jose. We got Mateo. I think they're all crossing together.
They're coming. Here they come.
All
right.
righty.
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, and I'm joined by Miss Clara Guerrero. Clara, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Claire. I'm here again. Happy to see the kids. Much better pattern, I believe.
Medium is nicer. Yes. Do you like medium patterns?
I do.
Yes.
I do. I really do. I like short patterns too. They're challenging. My game is simple.
Right.
I don't have a lot of rep rate. I can control the packet quite well. So I will have light this morning.
you're
Different
like-
than day.
Yeah.
But I think the medium is always a good pattern to play on, and I see many more smiles. So
Oh,
that's good.
yeah, many more. many more. Yeah. All right, so we are watching in front of us some of the top youth players for sure. And I'll pull up the scores from game one, but right in front of us on 5 and 6, we have Mr. Joss Weems. We also have Spiro Shank on this pair. They are joined by Mateo Quintero, Thomas Yarnell, Cameron Morton, and Trey Durflinger.
Yes.
And then just to the right, we have Brady McDonough, Sydney Mulvaney, Christian Mouton, Hunter Moffitt, Ernesto Reynoso, and Jordan Mack. And you see Jordan up on lane 8. Jordan's from Wyoming. Oh, this is his very first SYC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, throwing a Nova. Ooh, good shot right there.
Very good strike.
Yes.
I know Trey, and Trey's from Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Two-handed lefty. He has won a couple of the youth events in Texas. His brother is actually playing on 3 and 4, Drake. Good kids. Really love the game. Love to work on the game.
Yeah.
And actually, Trey loves soccer too. So he kind of goes back and forth between bowling and soccer.
Right. Yeah, the Durflingers are fun. Now, do you know a fun fact? Do you know what their dog is named?
No, I have no idea. You know more about them than I do. And
I only know this because they left SYC and went and picked up a dog. So they named their dog Frankie after Francois Lavoie.
No way. That's amazing.
So then they brought the dog to Wichita, and Frankie met Frankie.
Oh, that's
Yes.
super cute.
Yeah.
That's super cute. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Trey, hey, look at this. His favorite pro bowler, Clara.
It's me. Yeah, I love that. That's why
Yeah.
he's my fave.
Yeah, exactly. He's 12 years old. He's from Liberty Hill, Texas. He loves competing with his friends and his brother in bowling, and he loves catching up with his bowling friends. He did win the Youth Scratch Master. See,
Yes,
you know your facts. Now, is Trey your favorite youth bowler? I know you can't pick one,
Yeah,
but
he's
he
one of my
picked you.
faves. Yeah, he's one of my faves. That's for sure.
There you go. Yeah, and you said soccer. He plays
Yeah.
on his select soccer team. He wants to say hi to his family watching. Yeah, the Durflingers are cool. They're fun. And he does throw it great.
Yeah, he just chopped that spur, but it's such a difficult
Yeah.
spur. I mean, for us, the righties, the 369. I mean, that could always give you a hard time. But he does throw it good, and he has grown so much.
He has grown so much. Oh my goodness. All these kids, they come up to an SYC and I don't even recognize them sometimes. All right, so I'm trying to see who else. This is the quiz. How many people filled out the bio? Hunter, I have a bio from a couple years ago. He's from Roswell, Georgia. Favorite pro bowlers, Jason Belmonte.
Nice.
He has bowled a 300 game, but it was not sanctioned, so he was still working to his first sanctioned. He may have gotten it. This is a little, I don't know. Yeah, this is about a year old, so we'll have to ask him.
Yeah, hopefully he has already bowled at 300.
Yeah,
That'd be
right?
Nice.
When did you bowl your first 300?
So I didn't bowl any leagues or anything like that in Colombia. We don't have anything like a house pattern or anything like
Yeah.
that. So everything was just like practicing on my own on difficult patterns and then bowling nationals or international events. So it wasn't, I cannot remember the year, but it was on team trials for the Colombian national team. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
impressive.
Yeah. It was on team trials.
It should be on the table over there if it is. Yeah, just to the left. Yeah. Sorry, we're looking for tape.
No problem at all.
That's impressive, though.
Yes.
On a tough pattern, I bet.
And all of my 300s have been like on a PBA regional, PWBA, Queens.
No house shot.
No house shots, World Championships and stuff like that. So they have been quite helpful at
Yeah.
the moment.
I
Perfect
like it.
timing. So yeah, they have been on top patterns. So
I like it. We see Mr. Ernesto Reynoso, who picked up a medal this morning. That was a good shot. That's for a double. He
bowls a lot of SYCs.
He
doesn't
does.
he?
Yeah, he's from California and he goes everywhere. I go,
Nice.
you travel everywhere, Ernesto.
Nice.
He bowled a 214 game 1 on the medium.
Yeah, he's bowling good.
He is. Yeah, so the leader shot 248 right now just after game 1. Emmanuel Guevara. How would you say that?
Guevara.
All right.
Guevara.
There you go.
Emmanuel.
Yes. 248. And then Thomas Yarnell is 246. Brady McDonough, who we're watching on 7 and 8, he's in 3rd currently. Gabriel Hale, 224. Yeah, so these scores are way better than this morning.
Much nicer.
We love it. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye out on the scores.
The medium pattern, the advantage of this is that they can attack it from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
People, that go straighter can play straighter farther right. The ones that like to hook it can move a little bit left and hook it more. So they can definitely feel more comfortable and do their own thing. And it's a little bit easier itself.
Yeah.
How the pattern was developed. So
I agree.
we'll be able to see better scores for sure.
Yeah, maybe a little better transition, because I think that's what, kind of like what you were saying, but the transition really was brutal this morning. The girls got stuck.
Yeah, I felt so bad for them.
Yeah.
It's never easy to follow the guys, even for us. We are professional bowlers, and
Right.
we bowl against the guys, and we are following them after youth, and we are like, oh boy, this is so difficult. And for us to get the ball through the pins, it's not always easy.
Yeah.
So you either play the push, right? But then sometimes, like take it as a push advantage to the left and have a little bit of hold. But sometimes the ball doesn't go through the pins. Or you
Right.
got to go around it from where the carry down is at. And maybe you don't have enough hand, you don't have enough speed, you don't have so it just gets a little bit complex to go after them. And then when you see, the girls at this level trying to follow, what they were doing. So it got a little bit tough. But again, I think this afternoon will be better. Tomorrow morning, the long pattern will match up much better to the girls' game.
Yes.
They can keep it, straighter and do more what they like to do. So I think it's going to be better for sure.
Now, you bring in a very interesting perspective, because you are one of the few PWBA players who has won on the PBA tour.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
3 regionals.
yeah. So what would you say, when you did? I mean, and it wasn't. I mean, you decided to go out and bowl on the PBA tour, but there wasn't a PWBA tour at the time. But what was the hardest thing for you to learn when you were bowling against them?
Yeah, definitely different layouts. So when I finished, college, I graduated in 2006. We didn't have a women's tour. And my dream was to be a professional bowler. So I was just like, I'm going to do it against the guys, right? So
Why not?
I mentioned that. Yeah, why not? I'm just going to follow my dream no matter what.
I love that.
And I bowled a lot of tournaments overseas. I won a Brunswick Euro Challenge the year before it became a PBA event.
Oh, jeez.
So I was like, I could have had a PBA title.
Really? That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But so I bowled a lot against the guys, and I think it was just about learning how to, the layouts were a lot different.
Yeah.
And then also, I was trying always to do something different to what they were doing. Like if they were moving left, I was trying to find a way to stay right and stay longer to where I wanted to be, instead of trying to follow what they were doing. And it worked out many times, and it was fun. It was definitely a huge experience for me. It made me a better bowler, and I'm thankful for that experience, and that the PBA allowed us to do that when we didn't have a tour. So that was pretty cool.
You're welcome. Sorry.
No worries.
Actually,
I kept talking for the people that were listening.
And I'm sure I wanted to listen, but actually we just had our contact. So Baton Rouge has been fantastic. And we have a contact from Visit Baton Rouge, and she just showed that was her. So
very nice.
So they the Baton Rouge. I guess it was the I don't even know. It's like the area commerce, like all that stuff. They helped us get hotels and contacts and everything. and so they've been fantastic, and they brought pamphlets and everything.
Oh,
So
that's
all
very
right,
nice.
so
I'm glad she came, stepped by, and said hello.
yeah, she was looking for Leanne, and she's like, "Where is she?" I'm like, "Oh, she's somewhere. Find her."
5 minute bowling center.
Yeah,
It's
really.
only many lanes.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So I'm sure you gave a great answer. The layouts, yes.
Layouts, and I was trying to stay like in a way be unique to what
Yeah.
they were doing. So I was able to trick the lanes many times, like staying right and just finding the right bowling balls for me to stay far away from what they were doing.
Yeah.
But I have to say that I won regionals doing that. Like if they were moving left, I stay right.
Yeah.
And then some of them following what they were doing. I'm migrating left with
Right.
them. So I could say like I was trying to do my own thing when I could. Kind of like
Yeah.
when Lizzie was so successful
Yeah.
against the man and they went left, she stayed right and did her thing, loved her more, play with surfaces. I did that many times and it was
Yeah.
successful. But there are other patterns or other bowling centers because of topography that you cannot do it, right?
Yeah.
So I did both, but it was especially like layouts. A lot of I did a lot of like different releases. I will go more around it, and I
Yeah.
will do probably a little bit more loft and things like that than I get to use with the ladies.
That's great.
And
yeah.
and when we went on the women's tour, it was about me finding out, okay, now what do I have to drill? And the transitions were so different.
You're like,
I
oh
could
my
always
goodness.
move left and find more oil, so it was awesome, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think, though there is a PWBA tour now, some of these kids, especially the younger divisions, sometimes in their home tournaments or even at the SYC, sometimes we don't have enough, especially in the U12 girls division, where the girls are bowling against the boys, and we always tell them like, you can do this, right? Like you
Yeah.
can go, you're good. Like go win, right?
Yeah. And it's definitely difficult. And nowadays the game
Right.
has changed a lot. Ball and balls and the
Sure.
patterns and all of that. And I believe it's more challenging nowadays.
Yeah.
However, it's a great experience. You learn
Oh,
so
yeah.
much, and whenever you can beat a guy, you feel so much better about yourself. Like, okay, if I can do that, I can do it against the girls too, right? And,
yeah.
and it helped me tremendously mentally.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I stay quite sharp just competing against the men.
Right.
So it was a very nice part of my career, and I love it still. I don't do it as much just because I'm traveling so much, and I want to
Sure.
actually be home sometimes.
What?
But I want to be home once in a while, you know, visit
Yeah.
my husband here and there, say hello.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't.
Does
I
he
don't
ever
get to do that.
travel with you on the PWBA tour?
He
I
goes
know
to
he
like
has like a busy job, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
so he's pretty busy, and he goes to like main events. So
Yeah.
like sometimes at the end of the U.S. Open, he will show up and
Yeah.
hang out with me. It's a big one.
That's nice.
If I make a TV show, then he'll be there for me.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get to to stay the whole week.
Right. Yeah.
And he doesn't enjoy, to be sincere, as much anymore.
Yeah.
He just go to maybe a smaller tournaments around where he
Yeah.
can hang out with his friends,
Right.
knowing that he used to bowl, so
Right.
he knows a lot of people that are great
Well,
bowlers.
I think it's like like the kids today, they're bowling 10 games in one day. I mean, you bowl a lot of games in one day
Yes.
on the PWBA tour, right?
Yes. We bowl 12, but
Yeah.
we used to do 16.
Oh yeah.
And we
Yeah.
didn't have a long break, and then we had to wake up early the next day.
Yeah,
So
it's not enjoyable for a spectator.
for
most-
spectators, many hours in the bowling center. But for us, it's pretty cool, and
Yeah.
and it makes you work harder,
Yeah.
like train not only on the lanes but off the lanes.
Oh yeah.
On getting stronger.
Yeah, because you're on
and-
your feet all day.
Yes, and I have made a big change on that. Like
Yeah.
in the past few years, I have gained around 13, 15 pounds of working out on muscle just to be able to endure
Yeah.
the amount of games as I get older. So I think that's a pretty cool. We have become better athletes
Agreed.
through tour and the changes that the game have made. you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's-
and I think, a lot of these kids at the end of 10 games, they're going to be tired.
Yeah, they're gonna be tired for sure.
And if they've never done it before, parents, like, it's okay for the kids to be tired.
Yeah.
But they should know, okay, if I, it's good training, right? Like leading up to big events like Junior Gold and for the youth. That's a lot of games in 1 week.
Yes. Yes.
So it's just important to learn these things.
And it's so different to practice 10 games and compete 10 games.
Yeah.
Okay, just because of the stress,
Yes.
the adrenaline, it feels like way more, right? And then you think about, are they eating the right things? Are
Yeah.
they eating enough? because you need to have some good energy.
Right. Drinking water,
Yes, you
right?
need to hydrate. There are so many other variables that sometimes the patterns don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
And even the kids don't know how
Right.
important that aspect is. But yeah, so it's a process for them. But these events are great for them to get ready for junior gold, like you were saying, for team trials in January.
Yes.
For college
Yeah,
itself. College is, I mean, you bowl so many games and so many hours, and you get on a bus and drive for like 8 hours, and
then go to school.
and then on Monday morning you have to go to school and take a test.
Oh my
So,
gosh,
yeah.
that was the worst part of college.
Yes, it wasn't easy. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I came right from Colombia. My English wasn't very good, and it's still not great, to
Yeah.
be sincere. But then the classes were hard. I did quite well, but I had to
Right.
study very hard
Oh,
because I
yeah.
was like, I'm understanding half of what she's saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so I see Mr. Adam on lane 8. He's one of our first-time SYC bowlers this weekend. We have about 73 first-time
New ones,
SYC
wow.
bowlers in the field this weekend, and it's a big field, 170 bowlers. But there's a lot of new families, and we love meeting new families.
Do you think that is because we haven't been in this area?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think. This year we're going to a lot of new cities. Louisiana is one of them. Next month, Rochester. That's a new
Okay,
city.
nice.
Green Bay, which you
Nice,
bowled there.
yes. I won my first title there.
Yes.
I love that place.
Yeah. So, and we're actually going to Ashwaubenon.
yeah.
So yeah, it's
They're an amazing host.
They're awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm trying. There's a few new cities. Rhode Island we're going to. That's new this year. So
Nice.
I do believe we're gonna meet some new families. And there's a couple players like. There's a young man in the U12, Henry, who bowled the first event in Vegas, and he bowled this event, and then he's from Texas, so those were the two that he did this year. So I think it is based on kind of the location.
And I feel like the people from here really support bowling, love it. The families,
Oh yeah,
enjoy the game very much. When I have come here to do some clinics, I have been able to see the youth and adult league, and it's pretty cool. So I'm glad you guys were able to come here.
this center is fantastic.
yes.
You weren't in here earlier, and I know that you were in here, but Steph and I were talking about All Star specifically. What I love about it, just knowing a little bit from talking with Kim, every enhancement they can do, they do.
They do.
They have
They
lane
do.
talk. They
Yes.
have these beautiful monitors that you can see the scores. They have good lighting. They have a KEGEL machine. They have all of the best things that they can possibly do for the center, which is they're lucky.
They are
The
very lucky.
local community is
Yes.
really lucky to have
Yes.
all-star lanes.
Yes, and
So-
and like in the summer, I think she's gonna do a sport league for the kids.
Oh, that's
So
great.
she also really cares about their performance at junior goal, and I'm hopefully come back in April to do
Yeah.
a little clinic for them to get ready for junior
That's
goal
great.
and for that league. So she cares also about the development of the kids
Yeah.
and to for them to be able to get more familiar with the patterns and all of that. And you don't see that in every bowling center.
No, you don't.
So they're definitely very, very, very lucky to have her.
Yeah, and she's beyond junior gold. She was talking to me about college. She's worried about all of the college
Yes.
coaches. She reaches out to recruits, or she has recruits, and she sends them to different coaches.
Yes.
So she's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Very lucky.
yeah.
Very lucky to have her.
All right,
Now,
so
Brady throws it amazing.
Yes,
Let's
he
talk about
does.
Brady. I mean, he is a character. I love to watch him bowl. He's from Dallas, I believe,
he
right?
is, yeah.
I've seen some videos of Diana coaching him, and it's the first time I actually get to see him live, and he's as impressive as I see him online. I like him very much.
He bowled on junior gold. He won in the U12 division, I believe. But he, those gloves, he started using the gloves as a two-hander a couple of tournaments ago, and
Does
he's
better grip?
better grip.
Oh.
Yeah, and it, it's totally USBC approved, and he caused quite the stir the first time. They're like, "What are these gloves? What are they?" But
Yes.
yeah, it's
Smart kid.
He's so smart.
Makes
yeah.
sense. Makes
Now,
sense.
Brady is our bowling science kid. He films these videos for Storm and sends them to us.
Oh, nice.
And does different science experiments and
Oh,
all
I
this
love
stuff.
that.
He's awesome. Yeah,
I need to start seeing those.
yeah, I'll send you some to watch. But
Please, maybe I'll learn something.
they air on Fridays on the Morning Bowl. Half the time they're over my head. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to them. Then.
Yeah, he does like all these experiments with. Sometimes they're on the lanes, like he does speed stuff and he does everything.
Cool.
It's crazy. So
That's very nice.
yeah, Mr. Christian Mouton, Team Shark jersey there. He has sharks on it. That's an I Am Bowling jersey. Pretty nice.
Yes. That's a good shot. A little high. He just needs to make a small move left and very consistent game.
Mm-hmm.
Strike 9 spare, double.
It's
Out of trouble.
Christian's bowled quite a few SYCs. It's weird seeing him without his partner in crime, Xavier Newell. Him and Xavier hang out at the SYC. So, but he's doing okay.
Yeah.
He just got a good game going. You're right.
He does. Very consistent.
Yeah. Ernesto Reynoso is the one to watch on this pair, though. Man, whew. Spare. And
Yes.
he's going off the sheet. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now.
Yes. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Now we see some high scores, some low scores.
Yeah, a little
mean,
mixture.
Yeah. I think that we are in the low end, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes we see the kids coming from the high end, and it can be quite different.
Yes.
And it's like, they get, adjusted, and they made the right decisions to be able to put some strikes together.
Yeah.
So sometimes we could see a little bit of the struggle only because they're coming from the high end.
Yeah. Is it like the best feeling in the world when you make that big change and it is the same? You're like,
Oh,
a
yeah.
deep sigh.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm always looking for the reps, right? So I'm like, so do you have any information of the low end? Can you please tell me something?
Yeah.
Just so when I go there, it's not like washout or big four first frame.
Right. Yeah.
And in practice session, I always try to hit those pairs.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Just to see.
Just to see. And even if I don't see them, like if I'm going to cross on, or be in those pairs, like during qualifying, I still try to go because maybe if I made the cut, maybe match play or later on, I will hit those pairs.
Yeah.
So I think it's a smart thing, and I will definitely suggest everyone in practice session to go to the high end, low end, and in front of the counter or in front of the door.
Right.
Those pairs are so different.
Yeah.
Usually hook a lot more.
That's good tips right there. If you're listening. Yeah, I jinxed Ernesto. I'm sorry, Ernesto.
He has been bowling so good.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love his jersey.
It's great,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes. I would like to do one like that for this year.
Yeah, he has a good look. He's got the cool hair, right?
Yes.
Like all these kids, they already have their looks.
Yes. They have huge personalities out here.
Oh my goodness, yes. They're following you all out on tour. They're like, we want to be like you, because I think as a professional, everyone has their unique personality. Sometimes through your jerseys or different designs.
Yes.
So yeah.
I think one of the ones that have like the coolest personality on tour is the staff.
Oh yeah.
Like she wears the brightest skirts
The
and like the
sparkles,
craziest things,
yeah.
and she doesn't care, and she actually looks lovely.
Yeah,
So
she does.
She can pull it off.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone can.
Oh, no.
She can really do it.
Yeah, well, we were talking earlier because apparently Air Jordans are the thing. I
They're the
downloaded
thing.
the app,
Yeah, very nice.
so I'm
Sneakers.
gonna start. I'll
Yeah.
have to figure out how to buy one, but
Yeah.
I'll buy a pair.
I
We'll
hope,
see.
I hope
I'll
you
be
win
cool.
one. Yes.
Yes.
It becomes an obsession. Just so
Okay.
you know, be
All
ready.
right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
After you win the first pair, you're like, okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again.
Good to
then
know.
you lose many times, and then you're like, when you win again,
Yeah.
you're right back in it. I hope you win quick.
Oh, thank
Yes,
you.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. I need to get a pair. I need to be when I come to the SYCs,
Yeah,
the
you gotta
shoe
win.
game has to be on point because that is what these kids are doing.
I
so.
agree. I agree. They look beautiful from head to toe, and
Oh,
you gotta,
man. I mean, even Joss, look at this cool jersey. He's got like astronauts and the
Yeah.
moon and a little bowling ball Saturn. Like, it's
his
so
glasses
cool.
are pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, Joss has a cool look.
How is he bowling? Let's see. Okay.
He had a great game here. He did not. I was talking to his dad earlier, and he bowled I think 180 the first game, so he was not very happy. Ooh, got away with that.
Yes. That's gonna be a big game.
Big game here.
Yeah. You can shoot 240, 242. 180 to start. I mean, it's not too bad. I think so
No.
many times the kids wanna like start with a 250, but you
Yeah.
don't know the score base yet.
No.
You just wanna be out of trouble in the first game. Shoot 2-0, 190, 180, see what's going on, let the lanes blend a little bit, and then go from there on.
Yeah,
So I think he did the right thing. 180 and now shoot 240.
absolutely. We have Mr. Spiros Shank. That was a great shot right there. And Spiros' game is so solid and has been. He works so hard on his game. Joss finishes 242.
242.
I'd take that.
I'll take it too. He looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, especially down here. I don't see a lot of high scores.
No, I think that they're hooking a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I was able to watch the first game in the high end.
Oh, good.
And it seems like they're hooking a little bit more. And as they move left, it doesn't look like it's as blended. If they miss right, it just stays right. If they close their angles, he wants to go left. So I think it's forcing them left. Like that shot.
That
like,
was, yeah.
You know, he needs to. But when he tries to throw it farther right, he doesn't have the right ball or the right rotation. Then it kind of stays right. So it's forcing them left quicker. And I think that it's just the first transition.
That
right?
makes sense.
That second game, that could be a little bit tough. So hopefully the next game will be better. But he just needs to stay, bowling good.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you pronounce his name? Josh?
Joss.
Joss? Okay,
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah. He's a good up and coming player. He's one to watch for sure. These kids.
Yes.
Tell you what.
Sam, keep the 5 pin.
He's like, I got it. He's like, thank you.
Yes.
Oh man, Mr. Mateo Quintero. Now,
Wow.
Mateo's father, did you meet? He's from Colombia.
Yes.
Did you guys get your Spanish speaking on?
Yes. He's like, I met you a couple years ago at Junior Gold.
Nice.
And they're super sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're a great family.
I believe, I'm not so sure, do they live in, where are they from? Where do they live here in the U.S.?
Smyrna, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're here now. But I told so Mateo and Joss, they're part of our youth evolution team. And I told Mateo, I go, we need to get him connected with Ildemaro and make him the face of like
yes, 100%.
Yeah,
I know the
really.
Storm Latino.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think it would be great. And Mateo's a great young man and
Throws it good.
does throw it good, right? So we're gonna try. We're gonna get them all connected. We got this.
I will help. I will help in the
Good.
process of that.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
And Ildemaro does a great job
He
with
does,
Storm
doesn't he?
Latino.
Yes. He tried. Ildemaro, again, I'm telling you, there is something different about the Colombian water, I believe, because all of you work so hard. Ildemaro's a hard worker.
Yes.
And he has such a great family. And, he was wasn't he player of the year in his region?
I
this
believe
year?
so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. So you guys are just amazing.
Oh,
I love
thank
it.
you.
I love it. So we are honored that you're all part of our team at
Oh.
Storm.
We are happy to be. We are happy
Yeah.
to be. We are proud to be part of the team, to
Yeah.
be sincere.
Well,
And Ildemaro and Andres and many of the other girls that are on the team
Yeah.
that are Colombian, like Rocio,
yes.
even Angie, they have been part of the Storm team for so long.
Yeah.
I was part of another team, and now
Yes.
I'm new.
We're so happy. I will say
Amazing.
everyone is so happy.
Oh,
When we
thank
got
you.
Clara, we're like, yes. Yes.
I'm so happy with the change. Last year was phenomenal for
Good.
me.
Yes.
I was able to go great with the national team. I was able
Yeah.
to have, make a few shows, finish 14 points on tour. It was great for me, and I love to be part of the team. The reps are amazing. You
Yeah.
guys support us tremendously. So far, perfect.
Well, and I think what's so interesting, and these youth players will experience it when they go to college or if they bowl on tour. But I always joke, like, in the U.S., we don't always see what you do in your home country, right?
Yes.
Like, you work so hard and you do so much. And, like, I think of even, like, a Martin Larson, right, who's from
Yes.
Sweden. And he is the
the man.
the
over there.
man. And he
Yes.
comes over here, and people, just because he didn't experience as much success on the
Yes.
PBA tour, people may not know him as much, but he is like the person over there.
Yes,
Like,
he's a
everyone
legend,
goes, yeah,
for sure.
exactly. So it's kids. I think one of the best parts of college bowling is you might meet some players or some of your teammates maybe from other countries, and you
Yes.
get that exposure to other worlds,
Cultures
right?
and-
Cultures, yes.
Yeah. And our upbringing might be so
Yeah.
different. Yeah. and bowling in other countries is actually quite different.
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We don't
I'll
have
keep
as
it on
many
the-
bowling centers. We don't necessarily, or like at least in Colombia, we don't have recreational leagues.
Right.
Not as many tournaments. Like they're so fortunate to be here, and that pretty much every weekend they have a youth event.
Every
The
weekend.
scholarships, the
They
opportunities.
do bowl more than you do. Just
100%. Whenever I'm coaching, my kids
Yeah.
from Aston, I'm like, okay, guys, we need to make a change. Like, we need to work on your game, but you're competing every weekend. Like, eventually, I need
have
to
to
be
take a
able.
break.
We need to take a couple of weeks off. Couple of months to work on
that's
something.
a great point.
Yeah.
because it's hard.
Yes.
You can't do big changes before a big event.
No, or you can go to the events, which I think is great.
Yeah.
The experience, competing, it makes you better. However, you cannot think you're gonna win them all while we are making a
Right.
big change, and we need to prioritize junior goal, team trials, like the big events that you want to win.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's gonna be hard to evolve the game.
True.
So it's a very good thing. I think they're very fortunate. They know how to score
Mhm.
because they're competing all the time. But sometimes you gotta work on your game. So it's just
balance,
balancing
yeah.
that could be complex. And in our countries, you just train all year long for one event, and you better bowl good because otherwise you gotta wait a whole entire year again. Work so hard to
Right.
hopefully medal in one event. So it's so different.
Well, I think that's what's interesting too about like a team trials, right? And
Yes.
it's different in Colombia, but in the U.S., it's still one tournament
Yeah.
regardless. Like one tournament to make the national team.
Yes.
And so I think that's such a lot of pressure on
So
on
much.
players. Like it's the dream to represent your country. And in the U.S. for the youth, the main tournament is Junior Gold for Junior Team USA,
Mhm.
which is such a hard tournament.
So many players
So
from so
many.
many different places, and I think the hardest part of that event is transition.
Yes,
And there are just so many parents,
and it's only
so
a few games.
it's so difficult. And that has to be one of the hardest events to play, and whoever wins that, I mean,
That's what
amazing player.
I actually have said that I think it's the hardest tournament in bowling across like PBA, PWBA, and I hate to take the U.S. Open because you look at the U.S. Open and it's such a
Of course,
hard
yeah.
event, right? But it's 4 games a day to
Yeah.
qualify. Like that's nothing.
It's
You
no
blink
match.
and it's over, right?
It's no match.
I don't think you're gonna pick a 4-game
No,
qualifier.
not me. I'll take the U.S. Open any day.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So, well, thank you for joining us for this game. I'm going to leave this on. We're going to let Clara, how about, would you like to come back in game 5?
Yeah. I would
Okay,
love
perfect.
To. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have Clara come back. She needs to go and meet some families and talk to some people. But thank you for joining us and sharing a little bit of some Colombian culture,
Yes,
too.
thank you,
We'll
Blair.
talk
I'll see
more.
you guys in a little bit.
All right. All right. Yeah, there was no sound, you guys. We were muted because there was no one in the booth. We had to take a short break because sometimes what happens is the bowlers kind of the lanes change consistently. So now we have volume. Now we have sound, and we are here. We're watching some U15 bowlers. Got Mr. Weston. Weston came back. His dad is from this area, so he got to do a crawfish boil, I believe it was, or crawdad. I might need the Griffin family to correct me because I'm not from here. But they got all the seafood and everything they could possibly want. So we got Weston Griffin on this pair. We also have Corey Bush. We have Weston Griffin, William Smith, Austin Getz, Logan Frischman, Aaron Duer, and James Drehobel III. And to the right, we'll be watching Corey Bush, Brayton Boyce, Jaden Combs, Colton Bennett, Jack Chrisman, and Charlie Cole. So those are the bowlers that you are watching. I'll see if we have a bio in there. It is a 5-game block, 5 games on the medium. And they bowled 5 games on the short this morning. Mr. Frischman here, he tied for first gold on the short, I believe. Now I'm questioning myself. I'm questioning everything right now, guys. This is what happens when we're... Yeah, here we go. Logan Frischman. He tied Anthony Hornick for the gold on the short pattern this morning. And the short pattern was very challenging. Both went plus 83. Now on the medium, they're still putting in scores. So their scores are not in yet. But this is a lane talk facility. And we are... So if you want to watch some live scoring, you can go and look on Lane Talk. It's an app, and you can check out what they're doing every game. William Smith here, the lefty. He's bowling fantastic this year. He's had a lot of great tournaments, a lot of success. He's wearing his Mardi Gras jersey, and he has a double. He's a hard-working bowler. See Mr. Corey Bush. The Bush family are all bowling in this tournament. We're happy to have them. I believe that Weston and Williams' family have so much fun traveling to these events. I want to go hang out with them. They like eating ice cream, and they're all about dinner places. I'm with them. They like to explore the areas they go to. They found a great milkshake place in Myrtle Beach last summer. So if you need a food suggestion, find William and Weston, you guys. That's my advice. See Mr. James here, James Drehobel III. He's bowled quite a few SYCs. He's also wearing the cool I Am Bowling Mardi Gras jersey. Jersey looks so cool. Nice shot. Really nice. Austin gets a mittful. He puts a lot on the ball. That was another great shot. Good strike right there. James using the X Out breast cancer ball. Very popular ball for the cause. So we have a question. Will we be switching between pairs? So we have another camera set up, but we only can see 9 through 15 here. So you can see Garrett Andrews just off screen. He was bowling just off screen the last pair. So we have this camera, but you know, we do this live stream mostly for the families at home. It is free to watch, and we do the best we can. We're at the mercy sometimes of how much equipment we can fly and bring to the event and plug in. And so this is kind of what we're watching. We have a main camera down here at the low end, and the bowlers are moving through it. All right, with Mr. Bennett here on lane 7. Nice shot, very nice. All right, Jack Chrisman. I believe he is all the way from Colorado here bowling this weekend. Good shot. Looks like the medium pattern is, as Clara was saying last game, there's a way to be a little over-under. Like sometimes if you're too far to the right, you can't quite get the ball to the pocket. If you move left, it overhooks on you. So there is a little bit of finding the right combination of ball on the pattern. All right, let's see what the lefty can do here. Mr. William Smith on lane 6. Good shot. Oh, I don't think he loved that one off his hand. All right, let's see how many of these boys filled out their bios. Let's see what we can learn about them. So James Drehobel III, he is from Oviedo, Florida, home bowling center, Boardwalk Bowl. His favorite pro bowler is Chris Prather. He has bowled a 300 game at Boardwalk, and he plays a card game called Magic the Gathering, and he likes to be competitive in that game. So he goes and competes against other people in Magic. Fun stuff. All right, we got Mr. Weston here. He's from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, home bowling center, Smyrna Bowling Center. Favorite pro bowler, Packy Hanneran. He loves beating his friends in bowling. That is his favorite thing to do, his favorite bowling achievement. He's bowled a 300 and a 798. He enjoys racing, and he has a strong passion for cars. And he has bowled the USA on the USA bowling team with Brianna Archibald. And they have done very well in that event. I believe Weston is starting. Weston and William both are starting the college hunt, I believe, to figure out where they will end up. Aaron Durr, I don't have a bio for him, but he's going for that tricky spare, the sleeper spare. Nobody enjoys it. I'm coming to the end of the bios that have been completed for our pair here. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Aaron and Logan are from Killeen, Texas. Thanks for watching, Sandy. Hope you're doing good. Jeremy is here watching Jaden. Jeremy, are you not here? Are you not in Louisiana? Are you avoiding me? I want to know. I see Jaden. He's just to the right. He's going to step up here on lane 7. I love that parents at home are sending in bios. Thank you. Or friends of the family. We need the help, especially with the U18 boys. I don't know what it is about U18 boys, you guys. But it's bio. You just fill it out. I just want to say some cool things about you. Mr. Jaden here, lane 7. Good shot. It's a solid game going. He's heading off to college. Indiana Tech is his choice for the next 4 years, I believe. Jeremy, am I right? I'm trying to keep them all straight. Everyone's making all these college announcements. All right, Austin is from LaPorte, Texas. Pulls out an armadillo. Crystal are you mom? Hello, Crystal, if you are. Papa Frank in the chat. You can send a bio in on Nana. I will read the bio on Nana when Abby is on the live stream. Or we'll just read it at dinner one night. It'd be fun to get some parents' bios too. That's not a terrible idea. I'm gonna do that for the next one. Parent bios coming soon. Parents, you guys can fill it out and I can learn all about you. Tufts Fair. Oh, try, Mr. Bennett. That was a really good try at that. Nice shot by Charlie. See, I did see Leanne walking through doing the scores. I'm going to refresh. Oh, we're still missing a few, though. Or a couple, actually. Looks like in the U15 boys, Ernesto Reynoso is leading the medium. 214, 258. We just watched him bowl on 7 and 8 last game. Emmanuel, 248, 183. Grady McDonough, plus 20. On the U18 girls side, let's see. Those are mostly in. Karina Capron is leading, followed by Amanda Lang and Juliana Kiergan and Abigail Starkey. Those are your top 4 right now. Amanda and Juliana are tied. U15 girls. Leading is Milana Kalo, Brianna Archibald, Tori Franklin in 3rd. All right, and then U12 boys. You can see all the scores on Bull Metrics. Miles Gordon still leading, 193, 204. Trevor Mason and Nolan Conway. And then U12 girls, Taylor Morgan leading on the medium, Jane Juhas and Alyssa Hun. And I think the U18 boys division is still just kind of being up. Actually, I think they're in, but we have one pair that seems to be done with game 3 already. And we are missing one pair. William Smith, though, who we're watching, he is plus 62 currently going into game 3. Oh, look, I have tons of updates. Thank you all for sharing the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. We appreciate you cheering on the bowlers. If you are cheering on a bowler at home, feel free to leave a comment in the chat. We do keep the camera somewhat stationary so that we try to get as many bowlers that come through the live stream. And if they don't hit the pair today, we hope they hit them tomorrow. We try to show as many as we can. Hopefully you get to see a glimpse of your favorite bowler that you're cheering on at home. Good shot by James. Really good shot there. It's a double. Weston is commenting from the lanes. Weston is live on Facebook giving his breakdown. I love it. He didn't like that shot. He's gonna move right. That's his. We'll see what happens when he steps up to bowl. Jane, we can't wait to see you next month in Rochester. She's cheering on Keegan. I don't see Keegan. Keegan hasn't made it down this way yet. Anthony Hornick just off. Well, you can actually see him on lane 4. He was the other tied for gold this morning. He tied for gold with Mr. Logan. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. We got Mr. Ralph Solid. Ralph, you came just in time for 2 frames.
That was my plan. No,
He's
just
planned
kidding.
it all along.
I just saw your text.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. No, you're good. It's all good. So how you're out there keeping scores? How are the scores? Are they higher than this morning?
Well, I'm watching a lot of scores. I actually haven't been one of the scorekeepers.
Okay.
So I don't want to lie. I'm not doing that part. But
Okay.
there, somebody just had the front 10,
Wow.
and then we got a 9 count. I'm not sure. There was some cheers, and I didn't get the name. But so I don't have a good feel for the scores.
Sure.
But I think they're definitely up a little. I think they're up a little bit. What do you think from the short
Yeah.
pattern?
Well, these pairs especially are up a little bit because
Okay.
this morning I don't know what happened. Whether the first grouping of boys kind of used some surface or what happened, but these pairs became impossible this morning. Everyone that came had kind of their low game in this
Okay.
area.
Yes.
But it seems like that we've had a couple 240s this round,
Okay.
so it's. I don't think it's these pairs this afternoon. So
9 and 10's got a 4-bagger, a 3-bagger.
yeah, they're killing it over
They're
there.
killing it.
Yeah, Mr. James over here, he threw a great shot on the lane 6. Now he's stepping up on lane 5 over here.
Okay, James.
He's on a double. Before that, he was on a spare streak. That looks good.
Yeah, that looked good.
Ah, I liked it. Pins didn't like it, but I liked it. Trying.
Got a very colorful Mardi Gras shirt on.
Isn't it
I
cool?
like
That's the I Am Bowling, one of the jerseys
is
of
it?
the tournament.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay. And it might not be. It is Mardi Gras.
It
right?
is
It's got
Mardi
the
Gras.
beads
Yeah,
and the
it's-
purple.
Yep.
Now I'm
Of
seeing-
course,
yep.
we're close to New Orleans.
They came properly dressed. William and James and whoever else.
Yep.
It's a pretty shirt.
I Am Bowling is the official merchandiser of the SYC. Pretty cool.
It is. A lot of very nice products. And that picture was big.
Big,
It was a
lots
big
of I Am
picture.
Bowling
Yeah.
jerseys this morning. So we are thankful to the families for supporting the sponsor. And I Am Bowling does give a percentage of their sales to the SYC, so into the scholarship fund.
Okay.
So straight into it. Great shot by William Smith, the lefty. That's what he's known as.
The
lefty. The lefty. I appreciate it because, you know, I went to the Ohio State University. So anyone that uses the in their nickname, I'm all about it. Just add the to your nickname and I will be your biggest fan.
So what's your nickname?
I don't have one.
The Blair?
Yeah, no. I don't have one at all. So, oh, we have a question.
Can I make a score change or do you have to do it?
You can make it. Yeah. I'm telling you, you put a headset on and you become official.
We're official. We're officially.
Like, it doesn't matter if you know what's going on. Just put a headset on, people.
It doesn't matter what the rule book says. Just ask Blair. Just make sure you ask Blair.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Weston here. Weston, his dad is from this area, so I think it was. They had a big. Is it crawdads that they eat in this area?
Crawfish.
Crawfish. All right, I don't know.
But they might, crawdads.
I don't know.
I think crawdads is
crawfish is right. Yeah.
Crawfish.
Yeah. So they did a big crawfish bake. It was like 25 pounds of crawfish that they're eating the other night. There's pictures on Facebook. It's nuts.
They call them mud bugs.
Mud bugs?
Mud bugs.
Really?
Yeah.
I know nothing. I'm calling them crawdads. That's how much I know about this. So.
What are crawdads? Are they things you fish with? Are they like worms?
I don't know.
I
don't even know.
But yeah,
I need a Louisiana training on food.
Well, you're here. I think you're gonna. We should go out tonight.
We should have some kind of Louisiana cuisine tonight.
Crawfish boil. And,
that's true.
Shrimp and all the.
We haven't even had a beignet. That's how bad we are.
You've been too busy.
I mean, it's you fly in for work. You don't really get to explore the surroundings. But I'm glad the families are. I mean, we heard a group, and I think Jaden, I believe Jaden was part of this.
Okay.
But don't quote me, everyone. And Jeremy's watching, so Jeremy, you can tell me if I'm wrong. But Jaden, a group from Ohio, went on a ghost tour of New Orleans the other night. It was like a bus ride or something.
Wow.
And they got all the ghost stories, and I'm sure it was a ton of fun. So that's the stuff. If you are traveling, find some cool stuff to do.
Yes.
Like, I highly recommend it. Oh, we're getting recommendation. Poor Boy Floyd's is the place to eat.
Ooh. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, there's all the accent. I don't do the right accent down here. Now, do you have to, Ralph?
Yes.
So you are our regional sales manager for this area.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to, change your accent as you attend different parts of the?
You should try. I try.
Community,
try.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like because down here, it's very, like.
There's some spot.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to pay attention, or
Right.
you miss the. Sometimes you could miss what.
I missed yesterday. I was misunderstanding someone like 3 times, and then I finally was like, "I'm so sorry. I just you talk so fast. Like, I'm so sorry." Yeah.
Luckily, with my job and dealing with the pro shop, it's usually, it's not difficult. But if you get in certain parts of Louisiana that, dialect and it's more Cajun, Southern.
I love that accent.
Attention. It's great. It is a good.
I wish I had an accent.
And the names, like
And-
Thibodeau and all.
Oh yeah, right? No, I just don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
But like the yes sir and yes ma'ams down here, like you don't get that anywhere. These kids are so polite.
Good Southern hospitality.
It's fantastic. We love the Southern hospitality down here. And how great is All Star Lanes? I mean, we've been talking about it all day, but they're fantastic.
Kim, the manager, she's done an outstanding job. She's really been attentive to everything we need. And the staff here has been great. Steve and Kathy in the pro shop, they were super helpful. I think they just left for the day, but they put in a lot of hours, helped a lot of people out with their shoes and equipment and fits and whatnot. Drilled some ball,
Man, if you have shoes in stock right now, these kids want them.
Yes.
They don't care. They want them.
Uh-oh. We had a little
Oh, no.
slippage on 5. Austin, he caught a little slick spot there.
He
or-
did. Yeah.
You know, these are wood approaches.
Yeah.
So,
Those
you
are the
know,
best, though.
Yes.
Man, I love wood approaches. I wish everywhere had wood approaches. If you like to slide,
It
you
is
like
a thing
wood.
of the past, but there are still a few centers out there. All right. So what game, Blair? What is it? Is this the
I
third
believe
game?
we're going into the 4th game.
Into the 4th.
But
Finishing the
some
3rd.
people have scores for the 3rd game already, so I'm wondering if maybe there's a pair that is ahead, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm just sitting here in the booth talking about some bowling. And right now I'm trying to block someone on YouTube because we got a not so good commenter. So we're gonna block this person.
We block bad people.
Yeah, we don't need
We don't like that.
we don't need them. Stay gone. See how easy that is? You gone. You comment bad, you gone.
This is a family. This is a family sport and company.
Right. G-rated here.
Now this young man, this young lefty,
Logan.
Logan, he's throwing. He's fearless. He's
Yeah.
rearing back, and he is making some aggressive shots. The last 2 have been perfect.
Logan, he was one of our gold medalists on
Oh.
the short. He tied for gold.
Oh,
We had a tie in the U18 boys, and we give medals
so
to everyone.
he's been bowling well today.
He has. I'm not sure what he had the first. Let's see what he had the first game.
213.
Pretty good. I'd take that.
Looks like he's
Logan has gone 240, 190. So good.
Okay,
Another
he's
solid
solid.
on the medium too.
He's matching up well in the center.
Yeah. William Smith has had a good round too. He's on. He's the other lefty on lane
Okay.
5. He has gone 240, 216.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So scores are high. A little higher than this morning, certainly.
Now the pattern is how much long? I know it was 37 on the short this morning.
41,
41,
this
so
afternoon.
another 4 feet.
27 mils, so a little higher
A little
volume.
heavier.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's this morning, I didn't notice it, but Clara, I think, was the one that said it when she came in. This morning, the short pattern was relatively flat, and this one is not quite as flat. So the, it wasn't super flat, but it was flat enough to feel flat. Wasn't U.S. Open, but it looked hard.
Yes.
I was not feeling like I wanted to be bowling today.
Yeah, this morning they didn't let you play. You could play outside of 5, but it wasn't easy.
No.
With the length of the pattern, like you said, a little flatter. You just didn't have that nice little bump out to the right. Kind of had to keep it up in front of you.
Totally.
So.
All right, Mr. Ralph. Well, thank you for joining us. Steph is going to pop in. She's coming back. So
Excellent.
Thanks for being here this weekend
All
at
right,
the SYC.
Storm Nation, SYC. I'm out of here. Thanks for having me.
We love it. All right, we'll be right back.
Yep.
actually like Blue's Clues. I think it's cute.
All right, we are back. And I think everyone heard that you have a love for Blue's Clues.
That's okay. I'm not hiding it. I love
She's a mom.
unicorns. I love glitter.
Hey, Blue's Clues, that's where it's at. Although now there's like all this stuff, like Bluey. Like, what is Bluey?
Bluey. Oh, that's so cute. It's actually an Australian cartoon with 2 dogs who I just now found out one of them I thought was a boy, Bluey.
Yeah.
Just shame on me. They're 2 girls.
Oh, hang on.
But anyway.
Yeah. YouTube Storm Bowling. Storm Bowling. You can scan that QR code.
We're trying to navigate to all the parents where to find our stream.
Yeah, we're hang on. Okay. We're good. Okay, we're good. We got this. Okay.
Just Google it, right?
Google Storm
knows
Youth
everything.
Championships. Yeah. Okay, so Bluey.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. This is Steph.
Yeah. Hey everybody,
Steph is
we
back.
are back. Game 4. Medium pattern scores are higher than this morning.
Yes.
I haven't looked at them lately. I don't know that they're updated yet.
Well, I will
the games
say
are a little off.
they are, but Garrett Andrews just shot 266.
Okay,
So the scores are
that's helpful.
up and coming now. Jane, who's been watching all day long.
Hi, Jane.
Hey, Jane.
She sent me a necklace a couple weeks
Oh,
ago.
that's so
cute.
sweet.
It is very sweet. It's like fearless.
She's been waiting for Keegan to appear all day, and Keegan's here. Here's Keegan.
And Kim, like, boom.
He got it. No problem.
Nailed it.
No problem. There we go.
Leanne's just kind of standing in the way.
Yeah, she is. The good thing the camera's a little high.
Say hi,
there's,
Jane.
there's the wave. He said, I have to wave to Meemaw. So sweet.
That's what's so cool because anybody can tune in and watch
It's true.
if they so choose. We probably have people all over. How many people are watching? Can you tell at this moment?
Right now we have about 50 people. Come on, people. Share the
Awesome.
feed.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
I see
right.
it at the
Yeah.
top.
And that's between YouTube and Facebook.
Gotcha. Probably waiting for a score update here. The pace was a little off. We got some games finishing up and then some folks starting.
Yes.
So I think at some point down at the high end, there may have been a breakdown of some sort, which kind of caused a little bit of a delay with
Yeah.
the pace of
It's weird.
lanes finishing and then starting and all the things, you know.
Yeah. So we are watching. I'm going to see who else we have on this pair. So this pair, we, of course, have
Evan?
Keegan Alexander. We have Evan Nowak, Grant Pendergraft.
Anthony Pogione, probably butchered that.
Hey, I'll let
Sorry.
you butcher it this time because I butcher all of them. And Mr. Gavin Murray. I got that one. Gavin Murray.
Okay. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yes. To the right, you'll see Aiden Mercer, Dylan Murray, Richard LaCorde, Micah Boris, Hunter Mullen, and Joshua Maslonic.
Okay.
So
I like it.
Keegan is showing off for Meemaw. There you go, Jane. Enjoy.
There we go.
Did I say Grant? Oh, yeah, I did say Grant. Grant is up on lane 6.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because these pairs, they still are not super high scoring.
Okay.
Seems like they're still
Kinda
a
hit or
little
miss.
tricky. I think they get a little tighter, just from my outside perspective, you know, in all of my bowling experience. But but they do look a little tighter.
Well, and I mean, we did discuss earlier that medium patterns, I feel like in general, are just probably the trickiest distance altogether.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you walk across the center, you see so many people attacking it differently, and then you throw in the other variable that these kids don't stay within their division. So it's not like the U18 is just following U18 and then circling back around. They're literally coming to where the U12 was and then U15, et cetera. So they're all bowling on everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you're going to follow some good pairs that maybe broke it down a little better, so to speak. But, you know, when you do hit those types of pairs, you have to capitalize.
Oh, yeah.
You know, your arm swing gets loose. You can string a couple strikes together, you know, maybe pop off a good game. And sometimes at the end of the tournament, that's kind of what makes the difference, you know. I would imagine the scores kind of bottle up at some point, you know, towards the end. And obviously tomorrow we'll see that. But was it Elliot
Yeah.
Like averaged 250 this morning. I mean,
shake it off.
he has a big buffer, but, you know, until we see kind of how the medium pattern treated him and other people around him, it's not to say that's, you know, a big enough buffer, so to speak.
Oh,
'cause
absolutely.
anything can happen.
Absolutely.
That's the thing we do.
I'm trying to look up. I don't exactly know. I need to look up the program that Gavin Murray is part of. But Gavin Murray is training to be a pilot.
Okay.
And he, you know, he actually like flies planes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But I can't remember what, and I wish Amanda was over here. And Amanda Murray is the, you know, chaos coordinator, for lack of a better term, with her kids, because she has young Ellie Kate. She has 4 kids.
Right.
3 of them are bowling in the SYC.
Right.
She's constantly navigating youth bowling. She also coaches college in her free time, you know, and then just all of her things. Oh, Civil Air Patrol is the program that he's part of.
Okay.
So he goes away to camps, and, you know, he's part of this very
Specialized program.
Yeah. So, and all 3 of the Murray kids are homeschooled, and I think it's fantastic, and he's learning a lot about discipline now. He did come to one SYC and said he was quitting bowling, but he's back. So I'm glad. I'm glad Gavin is back.
We'll probably hear that a time or two when the tournament's over, but I think that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
That, you know, we have a love-hate relationship with bowling.
Have you ever quit and come back?
I wouldn't say quit. I would say
Took a break.
A hiatus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's like, you know what, I need a breather
Yeah.
to just kind of
Not do this.
get back into my own little routine here.
Right. Well, I will brag about both Gavin and Dylan, who Dylan's up on lane 8 and Gavin is up on 7. But Amanda was just telling me a story. They had, you know, some homeowner adulting stuff happen at their house. And Gavin and Dylan were home at the time, and they're in the process of moving states, right? So they had a home that they're trying to sell in Florida, and they're going to their other home. And the boys, she goes, I was so proud of them because they were kind of home, and they took care of all of the issues and were really keeping everything under control. And she's like, if as a mom, it felt so great because that's what I'm training them to do, is to handle stuff.
You can only guide them and hold their hand so much.
Yeah.
You know, they get to a point where it's like, you're going to have to adult for a minute here.
Yeah, right.
You know, and it may not be the thing you want to do,
Right.
but it's the thing you have to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, that want thing happens a lot when you're an adult.
Yeah.
You know.
And she said, she goes, it's so fun because Dylan can drive now and Gavin can cook. So she's like, they're totally self-sufficient. They can handle it. They can figure it out. I just have to keep them in the stuff. So it's
now they
awesome.
need to get jobs, right?
Yeah.
Pay for their bowling.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Evan, good spare there. Nice spare by Evan. I like his jersey. One of the
There's been a
SYC
lot of cool
jerseys.
jerseys that I've seen.
Wow, designs are cool, huh? The Mardi Gras one looks like you. I could totally see you wearing that
Yeah,
jersey
I could
with
rock
like
that.
a gold skirt.
Oh, I have every color metallic skirt that's on that jersey.
Maybe you should do a Mardi Gras jersey. Maybe.
I mean, it's neat.
I mean, maybe like maybe you could bring it out. Who knows? I don't know.
A bunch of beads.
If there was a stop in New Orleans, you have to do that in the future.
I think most people would have to rock some sort of Mardi Gras colored jersey. Yeah, we've definitely never been down there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been here to Baton Rouge
Right.
for the Open Champs and stuff,
Yeah.
but
Mr. Maslanik, Joshua, up on lane 7. He's from Ohio. I believe, I don't quote me, but, you know, I love Ohio because I'm from Ohio. But
Yeah.
Josh here, I believe, is the reason that kids from Ohio bowled at SYCs, because he came and bowled a tournament, and I was talking to his dad, and Josh loved it so much, he went back, and he was telling all the kids from Ohio, you have to come bowl it. So
Yeah.
I believe Josh is the reason that people from Ohio bowl it. I can't even take credit. So good
That
job,
ju-
Josh.
that just reminds me of a Monday morning meeting we've had where we had to talk about what was the best form of communication. And
Oh,
word
yeah.
of mouth
Oh, totally.
is
yeah.
hands down the way to go.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
even all of our electronic devices, we like certain things, but when you get that referral from someone you trust,
Yeah, that's
whether
it.
it's a restaurant or you got to
Right.
bowl this tournament, you got to see this thing,
Hey, that is
you
why
just do it.
people, people always ask, like, how do I get on staff, right? How many times do we get that question? 1,000, right? So here's the secret, guys. I'm gonna give you all the secret to getting on staff. If you're not a professional athlete like Stephanie, you do a good job of showcasing the products. But at the local level, if you are a person who the pro shop can depend on to go out and talk up the pro shop, talk
Absolutely.
up the products, right? If you're a person that people want to come and talk to and get recommendations, if you're a person that just shows up to league and bowls your 3 games and goes home,
Right.
probably not the best of all candidates for a staff contract.
Yeah, I mean, you need to, what I would be considering others to be an influencer of
Yes,
sorts.
exactly.
Somebody that, you know, you're always out there, putting it out there. You're practicing a lot. You talk to people.
Yeah,
That's the key, is
Right.
that people trust you enough to ask your advice.
exactly.
You know, and
It's not always, I mean, not at the professional level, but at the lower levels, the influencers, you don't have to be the best bowler, guys.
No.
You just have to know your stuff and be a nice person.
being kind and nice, all the things
Yeah.
goes a long way. But
That's it.
it's literally just about making an impact.
Yeah,
And, you know, being someone that's relatable.
right.
You know, even at my center at Plano Super Bowl, you know, Chris Warren has the lanes in his pro shop.
Yeah,
And we're exposed
great
to so
shot
many
right
people
there. Yeah.
that it's just important to level with them, that you're not above them.
No.
We do this thing called bowling. We all love it. And we can all coexist together. I think that's important for people to understand, that no matter what level you do it at the end of the day, it's still just bowling, right? It's still just bowling.
Right.
So that's kind of what humbles you in a way, because we all do the same thing.
Yes. And we all bowl good, and we
Yeah.
all bowl not so good.
Oh my gosh.
We've all been there.
I was chatting with one of the parents of one of the girls down there. She was struggling. I was trying to help her out and, you know, get her to see the lane a little differently.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I've walked in your shoes before. I've bowled 150s.
Yeah.
I've bowled worse than that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and we're just like you.
Yeah.
Like, what you're doing and experiencing, I do daily. It's just the difference that separates us is just the experience.
Yes.
It's just going through it over and over and over again, and kind of being aware of, why did I shoot 150?
Right. What
Because
happened?
You have to be honest with yourself. Like, hey, listen, I didn't throw the ball very good. Period. Okay. Well, did
It
you
happens.
not throw it good because maybe you had the wrong ball and you
Right.
were trying to manipulate something? That's always a possibility.
Yeah.
Or are you just kind of off that day? You know, there's so many things.
Totally.
But I think what it comes down to is like, okay, after these 10 games are said and done, these kids are going to go back to go eat, go to their rooms, go hang out, do whatever. But they also kind of have to have that moment of, how did the day go? And like
Yeah.
check themselves of, if it didn't go so well, what am I going to do differently tomorrow to be
Right.
better? You know, and it's sometimes that honest conversation is hard to have because maybe we don't like ourselves that day as far as how things went.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, that human element comes into play, and it's all right.
Yeah. All right, we got Mr. Grant up here again. He's having a little bit of a struggle this game. Let's see, he
He's
might
probably
be in,
hoping not to leave anything.
Yeah.
And that's one way to do it.
Hey, let's do it.
Go Brooklyn.
Man, I'll tell you what. I think he's caught in what I can't remember if it was you or Clara talked about this morning, or this afternoon, the medium pattern,
Uh-huh.
where you can like be stuck in between. Like you can't be too. You can
Too
be
far
too far
right.
right, but you can't. You can be too far left, and you're stuck in this like in between. Like, do I move left? Do I move right? I think that's exactly what he's experiencing, trying to
Mhm.
figure it out. So I don't envy him.
And then, what ball you're throwing
Oh,
can
yeah.
kind of dictate what it's telling you to do, but it may not be the right thing. So, fast forward 2, 3, 4 frames, we're struggling trying to make something happen when maybe that's just not right.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part of the equation, trying to figure it out.
Keegan tried to jump that pin to death. He did. It
Trying
didn't
to
work.
send the vibrations down the lane, and it just said,
Nope.
not
Nope.
today.
It didn't even wiggle. It was like, nope. It's like, Keegan, go work out. You need more power if you want to knock me down.
Oh, man. It's too funny.
No, man. Yeah. See Mr. Richie over here on lane 8. Two-hander lefty.
Yeah, it looks like he's throwing the purple urethane.
Yep. It's got a good game. Double, open double.
How are we doing score-wise? Have we been updated after 3?
Let's look. I haven't looked yet. Let's see. U18 Boys Medium.
There we go.
We are. All right. So Jaden Bowder, who's pretty close. He might be just to the right of the live stream. He's plus 101.
Yeah.
Garrett Andrus plus 81. Jacob Neubauer plus 73. William Smith plus 63. Micah Vorse, who is on,
Right here.
he's up on lane 8.
Yeah.
Plus 60. Leanne's nickname for Micah is Steady Eddie because
Steady
Micah
Eddie.
is steady. He is a bowler that I cannot tell you how many times Micah does not medal on any pattern, but medals overall. So he's
Gotcha.
really consistent.
He's always in the hunt.
Exactly.
But at the
Yeah.
end is when it kind of pays the dividends.
Yep. And then Cameron Kilgore is plus 59. Let's see. I think that's all we're watching in the top 10 here.
How's was it Elliot you said?
Oh, yeah.
Or was
Let's
he
see.
U15?
He was U15. Yeah, U15 boys.
See how he's
Oh,
playing.
Elliot Gordon minus 33.
Okay.
So still.
So I mean,
but-
right there is a 120 pin difference, depending on, of course, where those people.
Right. Let's look at the over. We could look at totals too. Let's look at overall because we're about. So Elliot's still leading U15 boys,
Only
but
by
it's
about
closer.
50.
Yeah. So Ernesto's making a run at him.
Yep.
And the U18 boys. Let's see who's leading overall. Jaden Bowder plus
Okay.
154, but 2 pins behind is Jacob Neubauer and Micah. Here he is. Look, I told you.
Yeah.
3rd overall plus
Right.
135. Always in the hunt.
Right.
So Logan,
And that's
Frischman-
obviously the goal, right? I mean,
exactly
medaling
right?
on the patterns is cool,
Right.
but overall, they really want that trophy in there.
Yeah. What's the coolest trophy you've ever gotten? Do you have a favorite? Wait, let me back up. Do you have a trophy case at home?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We have one, which is cool to say.
Yeah,
'cause
right.
I have some that can go in there. But I don't know. I mean, they're all cool in their own right, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's cliche,
Yeah.
but one of my first titles when the PBA had the PWBA like women's series with them,
Yeah.
I participated in those. I won my first 2 titles there,
Right.
so I guess I actually have 6.
You do.
Um,
The PWBA total of titles is a little wonky sometimes.
but hey,
Yeah. Oh no, it's great.
who is counting, right? It was this big crystal bowl. Like, it's
Ooh.
this literally crystal bowl, and I just was so scared that I was going to drop it because it wasn't attached to the platform, which they told me when they gave it to me. I was like, oh my God, like, why didn't you just give me the bowl?
That's what I was like. Why did you give
Like-
the platform?
Just give me the bowl, put some straws in it or something, But it's so
Yeah, really.
funny. So that one was just really cool. I mean, that was
Yeah.
my first one. So I think there's always something special
Did
about
you ship it
the
home
first
or
one.
did you have to take it? Were you
Well, we shipped that. I was not about to
break
travel
it?
with that thing. It would have been in shambles and pieces.
Could you imagine breaking it like on the airplane or something? Like glass everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
But the biggest trophy I have is when I won the Players Championships at
Sure,
Plano.
yeah.
That thing is 2 feet tall and it's heavy.
That was
They
a big
gave-
trophy.
Clara and Shannon were commentating on that show, that telecast. So Shannon had to give it to me, I think. And it was like 20 pounds, which I know 20 pounds, whatever, we throw a 15-pound bowling ball. But this
you just
thing,
won a tournament, and you
like, you
know,
just
you're
expect a
emotional.
trophy
Yeah.
to be like nothing, like a couple pounds, and you're like, oh my god. You're taking all these pictures, and you're like,
And
okay,
there's
are we
a
done
lot of
yet?
pictures for anyone that's not been to a TV show. Like, it is like 5 full minutes of stand here and smile.
After the
Yeah.
cameras turn off, you're like, okay, stay there.
Yeah.
With this person, that
Yeah.
person.
Oh yeah,
It's what you want.
Sponsors come in. Yeah.
what
You're
you
not
want.
complaining. Yeah, but
But-
it's a lot.
When the trophy's 20 pounds. Like, let's go.
Oh man, that's funny.
Just put on your happy face, and it's all good.
Yeah. So, but the SYC trophies I think are pretty cool. Every state gets a trophy.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so
they're just shaped really cool.
they are. Yeah. Our friends at K5 Signs actually do the trophies. Mike Keogh is a PBA 50 bowler, and he runs a full business, and he does our trophies, which is
No,
pretty
that was
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, and they come out great.
And obviously, based on the shape of the state, I mean, it says it on there, but you can just look at it.
Yeah,
and
you
just know,
see.
like, I won in Louisiana.
Yeah. The one that's going to crack me up this year is Rhode Island, because Rhode Island's such a tiny state. I'm like, how are they going to? It's like when New Jersey was like huge, and I'm like, this is not true to size.
Should do one in Hawaii. It'd just be a bunch of
Oh
dots.
my gosh, I
You
can't
know?
even imagine. Yeah, I mean, they've had to get creative. Like North Carolina, South Carolina, they actually do both states because
okay.
Myrtle Beach covers both states. There was another one that
Oh, that's it.
I
I didn't
think-
know that, actually.
Yeah. Oh, Florida. It had to have because you know how Florida is shaped.
Of course.
So it had to have this like ring
Uh-huh.
that went from the top to the bottom to connect it, because otherwise it wouldn't have stayed.
That's so
they're-
funny. All the keys down there.
Yeah,
Like Key West was just like
they
an
gone.
afterthought.
Yeah, they gone.
They floated away.
It's so crazy. And then some trophies. Some of the states are huge. Like Nevada. The kids that win Nevada, they're like, this is a big trophy,
Right.
because that's a big state. So,
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Some of the shapes of the states are boring.
Yeah.
They're just like a square.
Yeah, like Wichita. There was a bowler
Kansas.
that kept winning in Kansas. She's like, I want a cool state. I'm like,
Can I swap this?
yeah, really?
Not really.
Nope. You won these
You obviously
squares.
like this place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you should look at Wichita for college. Just
So
kidding.
Funny.
Yeah, it is funny. There's Keegan.
Oh my.
Keegan.
He's got his antics going on. I don't know if he normally does that. Not on a live stream pair.
He's bowling well, so I think sometimes these kids they have some style, they have some emotion.
They're just feeling it. So
Yeah.
So why not?
Right?
Why not?
Micah is consistent still, and he is like he's trying to figure out what he needs to do to string more strikes together. I think.
Yeah. That's always the goal.
Right.
But the spares are critical.
Absolutely.
Leave yourself something makeable and, make it.
It's key. It is. It's very key.
Sometimes easier said than done.
True
but,
that.
Across the board, I would say the medium pattern is a higher scoring pace than
Yes.
the shorter.
I would agree.
And we'll see what tomorrow brings on the long pattern. They start at 9 again.
They start at 10 tomorrow. We want
10.
to sleep in a little bit, because
Oh.
10 games is a lot.
Yeah.
If they're not used to bowling 10 games in a day, they'll feel it. How your parents, if your kids are tired, it's okay. They bowled a lot. And like we were talking about earlier, Clara and I were talking about it, because you, even if you bowl 10 games of practice, 10 games of competition is completely different, because you go
Oh.
through so many emotions.
And you're bowling at your own pace usually in practice, you know, and you're not going out for a lunch break and then coming back.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
just probably bowling 10 games and going home.
Yeah. And in practice, it's practice. There's no pressure.
Yeah, you're literally just bowling.
Yeah.
There's, a lot more at stake.
Right. And maybe the pair that you're following might be slower. The pair that you're following might be quicker. Like, there's so many
For sure.
outside influences.
So you can tell the pace is still a little off. There's people coming to these pairs
Right.
already. We got about 3 frames to go here on 7 and 8.
I don't,
So something on the high end. They're bowling a little quicker.
Yeah. Well, and there are some pairs, like 5 and 6 only has 5. So there
Oh,
are
okay.
some 5s mixed in with 6s.
Right.
Just the way the tournament, it just there
Yeah.
were a lot of withdrawals. It's weird. It was a
Is
weird
that pretty
one.
common?
Not really. I mean, this one was, but it was a lot of different things. It was like
'Cause I know
lot
they
of
sell out in like
injuries.
4 minutes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then there's a big waiting list.
there is,
And then some people get in, of course.
yeah, and I mean this is why we tell people everyone get on the waiting list, right? And sometimes it is a little bit based on the area, right? Because most of the spots will if you're on the waiting list for an SYC ever, most of the spots will open up within 2 weeks of the tournament.
Oh, okay.
So you have to
So you
be
have some time to.
flexible and kind of like you either are planning to go and you're on the waiting list and we try to keep like Leanne sends out the waiting list weekly, so you're updated every week where
Right.
you're at, right?
If you've moved up. And
Yeah. And we've only had one tournament in history, honestly, where there wasn't a last minute cancellation, and it was in Wichita. And there was a youth bowler who was on the waiting list. He had bowled other SYCs, and his dad had just, there was an off day on the sign-up day and didn't get in, right?
Yeah.
And he already had planned his college visit to
Oh.
Wichita. And so they're like, we're going to be there regardless. And he was there, and we had no last-minute cancellations, which is, there's always one last-minute,
You
super
would think
last-minute.
something just
yeah.
comes up or, unfortunate circumstance.
So so if you're local to an SYC and you don't get in and you want to jump on the waiting list, please do, because especially if you're like
literally
it's
local
your
and you
town,
can drive,
right, yeah.
an hour.
exactly, or it's like in your hometown and you're like this is your home center, like just get on the waiting list if you think you want to bowl, because
Yeah, because even if you're like 5th, maybe the top 4 ahead
Exactly.
of you just aren't
Can't
going
get
to
here.
make it.
yeah,
They don't want to buy the flight or
right, hotel rooms,
whatever the
yeah.
case may be.
Yeah, so we're not lying when we say get on the waiting list. Keegan finishes
Nice.
238.
Nice finish there.
He's looking for something. I don't know what he's looking for.
More strikes, more
Yeah.
strikeys.
He is. Mr. Micah, he's on a strike.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can double it up. This pair did really well though. 203, 208, 238, 209.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. I would take any one of those scores.
Ooh, little high. Didn't really like it off his hand.
No, he didn't.
I'm sure that's some positive self-talk right there.
It looks like it, doesn't it? I don't think Micah attended your seminar. We should call him out. Micah? Now, Steph and Clara talked a lot about positive self-talk.
Positive vibes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Let's
man, I
talk.
threw that ball bad, but at least I didn't big 4.
Amen. Yeah.
Like Clayton H just did.
Did you mean to do that?
Whoops. Sorry about that.
Poor
But,
Aiden.
I mean,
Aiden, you can think.
it's like I said earlier, there's always a silver lining if you choose to see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it seems like we're in transition. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
All right, so we are heading into the last game of medium. So after today, the bowlers will bowl 10 games. They have 5 more tomorrow morning. There's no match play at the SYC, so it is 15 games overall,
Total
and
pins.
then total pin. Now, we go back and forth. Some kids will come and go, we want match play. Do you like a match play tournament? Do you like overall winner? Like, do you want to just win and not go into match play? How do you feel as a player?
That's a tough question because, I mean, I don't know that I've thought about it long and hard
Right.
about which one I prefer. It's more of what am I signing up for and just
Right.
accepting that's what it is.
Yeah, it's the format. Yeah.
It can go both ways at any moment. You can lead the whole tournament and win because it's total pins, or you can, that same tournament, finish, qualify 10th, but then
Yep.
have a chance to win because it's
Yep.
match play. I don't know. I mean, I think as a competitor,
You're
You
in
just-
for whatever.
you just got to know what you're signing up for
Yeah.
and accept it. And not think of, well, if it was this, I would have this. Well, not necessarily.
Right.
You know?
Anything can happen, right?
I mean, sure, I've led tournaments, so to speak, and it wasn't a total pins thing, but that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
We got some push-ups going on.
I'm seeing this. Did he is there a bet? Was it?
Yeah, I think maybe, I don't know, he's getting himself pumped up for game 5.
Now, Preston Gray, who's coming here, he's actually a local favorite. He works a little bit in the pro shop. His dad works in the pro shop. So.
Oh, here at the center?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So pretty fun, but that was funny.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know.
Everybody's got their thing.
You never know what you'll see at the SYC. I do believe Clara is coming back into the booth for game 5.
Okay.
But if you want to finish out until she comes, we'll finish out 7 and 8.
Yeah. Got a couple
Yeah.
more frames here,
Yeah.
so we're good.
Thanks for hanging out with us this weekend. The bowlers are lucky to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me here.
Well, and you get a little family time too,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Your
Yeah,
kids
they're-
are here.
kids
They're
are-
having a great day.
Oh, they don't care that mommy's working or, anything. They dropped me off this morning.
They
It's
gone.
so funny. They're like, "Hi, mommy." And
Aw.
they went to the zoo. They went to another bowling center to play and do the things, and they're going to pick me up later.
They're like, we'll see you later.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're probably going to be exhausted,
Yeah.
but we'll go eat dinner and,
That's fun. That's
be
great.
back at it tomorrow and then hit the road.
Yeah. And they're on spring break, right?
They got school tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Monday.
Oh,
So
man. Oh, you
uh,
got to hit the road.
they are in it for a long trip because on the way here, we broke it up. We went
Oh,
3
yeah.
hours and then about 4 hours.
Okay.
So on the way home, will literally be the whole thing. There's
Oh,
no staying the
geez.
night somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
y'all got school.
Yeah, we can't just hang out.
So
Are they good road trippers?
I think so. I mean, listen, you have to manage the expectation. They're 6
Yeah.
and 9. Like, there's going to be bickering back there. There's going to be, quiet time and everything in between. But it's fine.
Yeah.
If they can pop on a movie on their tablet or play a game.
That's what one of the SYC
Like,
parents.
what more can you ask? You're stuck in a car for 6-7 hours. Like, I would be a little restless too.
Yeah.
But we obviously have to focus. We're driving, so we can't just play a game.
One of the SYC families, I was talking to them. They have a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old with their SYC athlete, and I said, "Is she a good traveler?"
Is
And
that
they
Lucy?
said, "Yeah,
Lucy
yeah,
Mason.
yeah." I was like, "Is she a good traveler?" And they said, "As long as her iPad's working." I was
See?
like, yeah. I'm like, you know what? I love it. I wish I had had an iPad when I was a kid.
Oh, I remind them of that often. I'm like, sweetheart, you have no idea. Okay, we would play I Spy and make up games along the way
Yeah.
because that's just
What
what
you
we had to
did.
do,
Right.
or just take a nap.
Yeah.
But it's just a different,
Totally different.
different day and age.
Yeah. So Micah finished that game out with a 218. He had a turkey in the 10th.
Yeah, I would say he liked the right lane.
He did. He would just like to bowl on the right lane on that pair. Dylan here.
Little 4-bagger.
Little 4-bagger in there to kind of save this game, actually, because he went open after a good start. But see Mr. Preston here. Ooh,
Push-ups gave him that extra oomph.
I did, but
The ball just went a little too far down the lane. And a lot of this is speed control, too. I mean, if you're just humming that ball, it has no time to
Yeah.
react. There's just a fine line. There's so many variables you can change.
totally. It's a tricky game, this one.
So whenever they ask, what should I do? I'm like, well, what are you comfortable doing first?
Right.
Then
They
you
want
go
the
kind of go from
magic
there.
Answer. They want.
Just change balls. That's what they want to hear. Just change balls. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it might be the right ball. Maybe in the wrong part of the lane.
Right.
I
mean,
don't know.
I get it, because if you should get, I think you get it too, because when you're bowling, you won't just want like, I wish there was an answer right now. I just
Yeah.
wish there was like, here's what you need to do on this pattern all the time.
Yeah.
But it's not the case.
No, you're
Sucks.
following other people. You're
Yeah.
changing lanes,
lane
just everything.
surfaces. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to some of the guys from KEGEL this year at Bowl Expo, and I think one thing that you don't really know, no is not the right word. Don't really think about is lane surfaces in the U.S. are getting older.
Yeah.
And so they look at patterns now and they're like, man, that's a totally different game to play, right? Like they're trying to make patterns where the patterns aren't the same that they used to make or design.
Yeah. They're probably having to change the viscosity of the oils.
Yeah.
Which, makes them slicker.
Yep.
The volume is probably higher because as the lanes get older, there's tends to be more friction.
Right.
So you're trying to combat all these variables, but regardless of any of that, every time a ball goes down the lane, the oil is shifting.
It is.
It might be coming up the front, maybe pushing down the lane, it's coming back on your ball. Like, it's doing all sorts of things.
So much to learn, so much to know. It's
I would love to see that video that you shared in the SYC,
JJ?
email or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'll send it to you.
I'd love just
to watch. JJ's videos are great.
You can never learn too much.
No.
Because even like you think you know what you know.
Yeah.
But there's always another little nugget that maybe resonates. And you're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. Or that makes sense. Or whatever.
Yeah, Tony Franklin, when he was in here earlier, he was like, I love how you asked them. And the first time it was just like a gentle ask. And then he's like, you didn't
was he
get
here
the
during the Q&A?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, or during when I was asking about like, because I asked before practice started, I go, how many of you watched the video JJ did? And they were like 10 hands.
Oh, I know. We were up there. That was during our Q&A.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I'm like, really? Like, JJ.
That is so
John
valuable.
Janowitz. Like, and I'll send you a few because he designs them. I actually watch him too.
I
and
would love
learn
to see them.
I learn every time he says something because he's one of those people in the sport that if JJ's talking, please
You should
just
be listening.
listen. Like,
because he's either talking about lane patterns or dessert.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah,
And
cupcakes
both are super valuable. And they go together.
Yeah, the best place to find a cupcake. That is important. So
absolutely.
All right, Steph. Well, I will let you go
okay.
to talk to some more families, and now we're helping people through the end of a second block. So
yes,
you got some mental prep.
I'll find Clara too and send her your way.
Perfect. All right, everyone else, we will be right back. All right. You are watching the SYC in Louisiana. If you're just tuning in, thanks for watching. We are watching the bowlers are in their final game of the medium block. Try to get our all of the bowlers that you're watching. We have Manuel Vargas, Royce Wheat, Preston West, Brendan Williams, and Stephen Wallace on lanes 5 and 6. And then 7 and 8, we do have Christopher Targia, Charles Smith, Landon Sullivan, Jason Smart, Garrett Nelson, and I believe that is, and Seth Smith should be on that pair. So those are the bowlers that you're watching in front of you. Stephen Wallace here. Great shot. Really great shot. He started the game with open 4-bagger, and now he left a 10-pin, but that was a super, super good shot. Manuel here in the Mardi Gras jersey. Tough spare. That was a tricky one. Anytime you have that sleeper pin. Not very nice. Nice spare by Mr. Wallace. Lots of Iron Bowling jerseys out there this weekend. Ken and Kathy, if you're watching, they're taking a nice little vacation this weekend. But the SYC team of Shannon Plowski and Dan Martin are holding down the fort for Iron Bowling. Missing Ken and Kathy this weekend for sure. Preston Gray here. He bowls at All-Star lanes. Didn't like that one. Didn't like that one off his hand. See Garrett Nelson on lane 7. Nice little Brooklyn. We'll take that. I don't think anyone's picky in game 10 of the day. Guess who's back?
Clara.
Hi,
Finally
Clara.
back.
So you've been watching.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your update from the field?
Okay, so the lanes got very tight on the lane.
That's
so,
what I saw
yeah.
down here. Yeah.
So even the 200 kids that are bowling good that I have seen went to weaker bowling balls like low differentials, like hustles, and even IQ tours.
yeah.
The Ruby doesn't look. It looks good. It doesn't
Right.
look bad at all.
Yeah.
And they're actually migrating right. Okay,
Ah.
and closing, playing a little bit more of the friction that they find to the right, but then lower differential bowling balls that will allow them to miss left and the ball not overhook.
Okay.
When they went to bigger pieces and then keep moving left and try to hook it more, it became pretty flat. If they overthrow it right, didn't hook, it just looked pretty flat. And then the ball, it was too much ball, it went left, and it got difficult. So I'm seeing a lot of kids migrating right, even the ones with a lot of rep right.
Yeah.
So it was quite interesting.
Huh.
And it could be because in this bowling center, they oil with ice in the back. The reverse part of the pattern is ice. So I definitely see that. And they got a little tricky. They
Yeah,
get a little tricky.
I definitely, that's what we were seeing down here is the tightness. And the bowler, like this one, right?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace, he's bowling great.
Yes.
Even that one didn't get up the
Yeah,
hill.
the hill,
and-
let's
yeah,
say.
yeah, but before that, he was striking.
Yeah.
So, but he's pretty far right for a two-hander, right? You wouldn't expect to see that on a medium.
It's exactly what I'm saying. Like most of the times we see these kids in a medium pattern, 41 feet, fifth game already like, crossing 20 something,
gone.
almost in front of the ball return, some of them,
Yeah.
hooking the entire lane. And it ain't happening now. Every time they try to do it, they were like, oh, it's not working. They will shoot 160.
Right.
And they're having to move right. That's not very common. but
No, it isn't.
it's happening. I even went to the high end where the girls are at, and some of them were even throwing back to like urethane up at 9
Wow,
and trying to
yeah.
control the packet.
That's crazy.
Yes, and they're getting better scores with that.
Yeah.
Again, following the guys,
Sure.
it's difficult for them, but they definitely they wear the ball a little bit different.
Yeah.
Lots of urethane being thrown, and I believe that ice had a lot to do.
That's
Yeah.
a very good observation.
Yes.
Well, you have a future as a sideline reporter.
Thank you.
when you decide you don't want to bowl anymore. Yeah.
I'll be happy to join you.
Okay, there you go.
All of the SYCs.
There
in
you
the
go. Yeah,
future.
we'll fly you around. It'd be great. Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
it'd be fun. That but you've done a little commentary on the PWBA tour. You've done a little reporting, and I always like when you do that. So
Thank you.
you do a good job. You know your stuff.
Thank you. It was kind of cool. I was actually part of the show, the TV show where Steffi won,
Yeah.
and I got to be the side reporter when she was winning. I was quite emotional, and I think
Yeah.
Shannon O'Keefe was actually commentating. So we're very good friends, and
Yeah.
we're part of her show, and that was pretty cool.
That is awesome. I
Yes.
bet she appreciates that too, looking back.
Yes, we
her
have some
friends.
pretty cool photos of
Oh,
that night.
that's fun. Yeah. Super fun.
Yes.
All right. So let's see. Now, you mentioned the IQ Ruby. Landon is throwing the IQ Tour Ruby,
Yes.
which just released yesterday.
And I love it. I love it. I have been always a big fan of the IQ.
Oh,
It
good shot by
works.
Landon.
That was a very good
Yeah.
shot. It works great when I travel overseas, especially in Colombia. We have a lot of friction, and that ball just seems to be the right ball for me.
Yeah.
On tour, we don't get to throw it as much, to be sincere.
Right.
But I can see this IQ Ruby coming into play
Yeah.
more, and I hope to do that and be able to use it on tour this year.
And you've thrown the DNA too, right?
Yes, very nice.
Love it,
I
right?
love it.
I love my DNA
yes,
too. Yeah.
Yes. I got to play in a couple of patterns last week with the IQ and the DNA.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm practicing on my own, so the
Sure.
lanes kind of like they don't break down necessarily like they
Yeah.
will be with people. But I was able to play different parts of the lane with both. I was able to go straight, to hook it. Very versatile. They definitely pretty good. I'm in love with both of them so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, that DNA, it just hooks.
It does. I love that.
Like, and it continues, right? Like
Yes.
sometimes with the bigger balls, they don't continue really well.
They, when they have that big of a cord, they want to get forward a little bit
Yeah.
quick and change directions a little bit too quick and go forward, and then they're hard. You cannot play straight with them, but when
Right.
when you want to swing it, then they kind of roll out, and they
Exactly.
can get a little tricky.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening with the DNA.
Me neither. Yeah.
And I changed the cover. Like I went, I brought it up to like 4,000, and it looked amazing too.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
very versatile cover, and it
Cool.
was a little cleaner, more responsive. So I think it's gonna be a good ball for tour.
I like
I'm
it.
excited. Yeah.
How many balls do you keep with you when you're going on tour?
Yeah. So I'm one of the crazy ones out there.
Okay, all right. Brace
To
yourself,
be-
everyone.
To be honest. So last year I talked to Sean Ryan, and I think it was around 17 or 15, something like that we went out with
Okay.
out of the gate. So I chipped quite a few
Yeah.
and all that, and they were unique balls, and it was
Yeah.
my first year with Storm, so I
Right.
wanted to make sure that we had what we
Shapes,
needed.
Yeah.
And then when I was out there, obviously you get to like around 23
Yeah.
bowling balls traveling from
That's a
city
lot.
to city. So it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. But I don't have a lot of rep wear, and I'm more towards the softer speed.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I have to play a lot with layouts and different
Yeah.
bowling balls and that
Surfaces a little bit, right?
surfaces
Yeah.
and all that. But when I go with the national team, I try to travel with at least 9.
Okay.
We can only bowl with 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to use a lot of our versatility in our game, change
Right.
axis rotations, speeds, and stuff like that. But at least I try to bring a couple more or 3 more, so I have more options after practice session.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the one thing, parents are like, oh my gosh, she just said she has 22 balls. Kids, keep in mind that sometimes what you face on tour in a week, you will never see again. So
Sure.
you need a specific tool for that week, right?
100%.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't. It's just different at your level than maybe at the youth level, where sometimes they see similar patterns week to week. You guys are bowling on some tough
Yes,
patterns
yes.
that
And
that you don't see anywhere else.
I agree. And then we are going from week to week to
Yeah.
different cities, different surfaces.
Exactly.
Weathers. We change oils, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes we use current, ice, terrain, this forward, this,
Yeah.
reverse. So it gets a little bit tricky, and then we're doing it for living,
Yeah.
and we need to have the right ball for the right
Sure.
moment. So that's why we get to travel with so many.
Yes.
Now for the kids, they just need to have a very good versatile equipment.
Yeah.
Okay, so have your solid asymmetricals, pearl asymmetricals, symmetrical pieces that are solid, hybrid, pearl, pin ups, pin downs, and then just make a good set of 6 to 8,
Yeah.
even maybe 9 for some of the
I
kids.
think 9
and-
is a good number. It really, if you're a tournament bowler,
Yes.
9 and let me disclaim, tournament bowler who has a spare ball.
Yes, of
9
course.
is a great,
I agree.
because then you have 8 that you can move through, and as long as you know them and you don't overlap with the shapes, like that's what a lot of times kids will check in and they'll be like, what ball should I drill next? And it's like,
Yes.
well, what do you have in your bag?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's
And-
not just random.
I agree. And I think especially for SYCs, they're
Yeah.
encountering 3 different patterns,
Mhm.
short, medium, and long. So they do have to have a good set of ball and balls that will work for all of the different patterns.
100%.
So I think 9 is a happy number.
I like that.
it.
Yeah, I like it too. Now, what about while we're talking about balls? Because some parents come back and watch later, right? So, take a junior gold, for example, in the States, where
Yeah.
they are limited to 5 bowling balls.
Yes.
What advice do you have when you have you mentioned earlier, Columbia, you're limited to 6.
Yes.
How do you choose that arsenal?
Yes, and that's again when I'm like, you kind of have to set it up more like what's gonna be my one ball, and according of the player. So is it
Yeah.
gonna be an IQ 2? Is it gonna be a phase 2?
Yeah.
Right. What's my symmetrical solid that I can control the packet and I can start a pattern with?
Right.
And then in some cases it's gonna be like the urethane ball, right? And then what's gonna be my 2 ball, that is stronger pearl ball when the lens start to break down, the pearl asymmetrical that I can hook it more,
Right.
but that is still okay in the oil.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's my 3 ball, that symmetrical pearl, shiny peanut ball and ball.
Yeah.
And then it's just about picking the ones that are more versatile,
Yeah.
right? So some of the
You're not gonna
oldies
do
that are
locked in.
great,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
IQs, Swiss high rod pearls,
IQ's
and-
amazing.
and,
Yeah.
and those kind of ball and balls that we know work already in difficult and flatter patterns.
Right.
Now we have newer balls that we love so far,
Yeah.
like DNA and
Yeah.
IQ Ruby, and there are many, but there are other ones that become a little bit specific.
Yeah.
Okay, that they work very good when there is a lot of friction, or they work very good when the lanes get this way, and they haven't have a moment and a place.
Right.
But those will not be the ones that I will bring to junior golf.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's going to be about, rev rate and speed. So a 5-ball arsenal is not the same for a 200 to a girl, or a higher speed dominant girl to like rev rate dominant girl.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. So it's knowing your game, and I would say really work with a good coach that will advise you what will be that set of ball and
Right.
balls for such a difficult
Yeah. Tournament.
tournament.
Yeah, because
And-
you're on different patterns,
Yeah.
and they also experience not knowing the patterns.
So difficult. I don't know why we do that though. I mean, I get the point of the USBCs, but I still think it's so challenging for the
Oh,
kids. And
Yeah.
I want them to learn. I want them to learn the game, and I want them to understand the why.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just a little bit rough.
Yeah,
I would
it's-
like that to be slightly different. But,
Me too.
uh,
Yeah.
But
Right.
anyways, it is what it is,
It
and we
is,
gotta
yeah.
approach it and confront it the right way.
Yeah.
And the biggest advice for all of the junior golf players are pick up your spurs.
Yes.
Spur ball. So many times, yes, I understand that that extra bowling ball could be very useful.
Yeah.
And if you are very good at picking up your spurs with the strike ball and make your hand very flat to pick them up or speed, whatever, that's good.
Right.
But you better be very good at it.
Yeah.
If not, if you're going to miss too many spurs, I prefer you to pick up a spur ball
Yeah.
and have a spur ball in your bag because that's how you're going to win
Right.
that event.
Yeah. No, you're
Okay?
right.
So,
And to that point, because I hear kids say that, right? Where they're like, either they're taking a urethane, which could double as a spare ball, or they aren't planning to flatten their hand.
yeah.
Practice it in a tournament. Come to an SYC without a spare ball, right?
See how it
If
goes.
that's something you really are wanting to do and you feel like you're really good, don't make junior gold your first tournament. Like,
No.
even if you practice, it's just different, right?
It's so hard.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so I talk to a lot of guys that are like, okay, my spur ball. Okay, great. Sorry, my urethane ball
Yeah.
will be my spur ball. Great. What happens when you're using it and you're putting 500 on it? And you chop a lot of spares.
Yeah.
And or if you want to throw it very hard and you're overthrowing it, and then you start pulling the ball,
Yeah.
and it gets so messy.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go that route, you gotta practice a lot. You gotta compete.
Yeah,
Doing that.
right.
That's a good advice
Yeah.
that you just
Like,
said there.
don't just show up and say, yeah, it'll work.
Yeah, I think I can make it work.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
and to your point about spares, because we always look every year and we tell the kids at SYCs, when we look at the junior gold standings,
Mhm.
there's so many players, but the spots are pins apart. Like one
Yes.
pin,
Yes.
like one pin moves you up. So, and that's the spare. That's it.
100%.
Yeah,
You
it's
cannot make Team USA. You cannot win any of those events if you're not a very good spur shooter.
right. Yeah,
Yeah. And this thing, the game, the complexity of the game is, transition, knowing what to do, when to do it, changing pairs. And while you figure it out, okay, you need to pick up the spurs that you're leaving while you're figuring it out. The game is about reacting. So you throw a good shot, you 3-6-10, ooh, this pair hooks, I'm going to make an adjustment. But while that's happening, you got to pick up the 3-6-10. Okay?
yeah.
And
Don't lose focus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that's my biggest advice for junior goal. Lots of practice. Have a good system.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about asking a good coach around in your city. What would be a good system for these spares?
Yeah.
How do I
absolutely.
go straight at all of this, and and pick them up? There are ways. It's a very personal thing, spur shooting,
Yeah.
but there are definitely ways to pick them up that will give you more room for error.
Mhm.
And professionals know about that. Good coaches know about that. And sometimes we see kids picking up a 10 pin from, 15.
Yeah.
I'm like, you better be very good at doing that because your
Right.
room for error is minimum.
Right.
So I think
Yeah.
that we can get better at that.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm a big spare ball advocate. I think that spare balls are important, but I've seen people do it without. But I think that most, especially at the youth level, just take your spare ball. It's
Please.
okay.
Please, we encourage you. And this is my point when I talk to my youth students.
Yeah.
Okay, if the professional guys are using a spare ball, why aren't you? Are you better than them? I don't think so.
Right.
We want to be like them
Yeah.
and better, but in the
Oh,
future,
yeah.
we are not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So if
and
Belmonte is using a spare ball, why wouldn't you? Right?
really.
So that's
Yeah.
my point every time.
Yeah. And okay, Norm Duke's not. Are you Norm Duke?
He's incredible. I mean,
Really?
that feel.
I
I think
the
EJ
feel.
Tackett,
EJ. Yeah,
EJ
yeah.
Tackett,
Right.
and
yeah,
you.
another one, right? But yeah.
but
Oh.
they're like 2, 3, max 4 out
Yeah.
of
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
100 guys, 80 guys.
Yeah.
So I think that
You're so right.
yeah, we gotta work on that, guys. It's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's a key.
Especially. And if you look at the ladies too, like there's very few out there that don't have a spare ball on the PWBA tour. So I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, we are getting down to the last game of the medium pattern. We'll have 5 more games tomorrow morning, and then we'll award some champions. You get to
That's so
hand out some
exciting.
trophies tomorrow.
Yes. I love to see their faces when they were getting their medal. They
Yeah.
were so happy.
Yeah, so sweet.
And at the same time, they were like happy and anxious because they were about to bowl again in the medium pattern. So it was kind of
Yeah.
interesting to see.
Right.
And tomorrow we're, whoever wins, they're gonna be able to just enjoy.
Be
right?
done. Yeah.
be done.
Yeah.
But very good. I'm surprised of the technique of the kids, the composure of many of them.
Oh,
I really
yeah.
haven't seen any breakdown, any kid doing anything crazy. So I'm actually surprised. I'm very happy.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, and it's funny, and I don't know what we talk about it. It's like, what's the secret sauce of the SYC? Because we don't have many big meltdowns, and I don't know if
No.
it's because they know, oh, they're short, medium, and long.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a sec. Yeah, just reset it. Shoot over. Sorry.
We're missing something.
Yeah, yeah, you get to reset it. You get a bonus ball. Yeah, the
No meltdowns.
no meltdowns.
I haven't seen one.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I don't know if it's like the kids that do come to the seminars,
Mm-hmm.
they hear, oh, it's 3 different patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So they hear that like, oh, I can, even if I do bad on the short and the medium, I can do good on the long, right?
Yeah.
And I love this, and this was Leanne's idea, but on Sunday mornings, PBA Junior partnered with us, and we have a Never Give Up scholarship.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it goes to, it's a little bonus of scholarship money that goes to the first place bowler on the long pattern. So it's
Aw.
rewards the kids that maybe they didn't have a great tournament, but they bowl great on the long, and they
love
never
that.
gave up. Isn't it
I
great?
love
I
that.
know, it's awesome.
I think it's very sweet.
Leave it to a Hall of Famer to come up with something cool.
Leanne, of course.
Yeah, right.
What can she do wrong?
Oh,
No, a lot of things.
nothing. Yeah.
At least I haven't seen anything wrong yet.
No. She hasn't. She doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, she's great in every way.
Yes.
They're very happy to have you both and Leanne being part of this, and it has grown tremendously.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's only been around since 2017.
Yes.
So in such a short amount of time, and it's truly because of the families. I mean, the families support it.
Mm-hmm.
They love it. They want more all the time, and that's what makes them great. And we're here for them.
And we needed more events like this.
Yeah.
Okay. And to prepare them especially for junior goal.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
okay, so there are other tournaments that they bowl during the weekends to qualify. But this is short, medium, and long.
Yeah.
And they get to like try in Orlando, different surface, what
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I change? How can I get better in the short? And then they get to try it again, not a year later.
Yeah.
Like,
It's great.
so I think it was a phenomenal idea. I'm glad it's successful. I hear it sold out every time.
Oh my
Within
gosh.
4 minutes.
Yeah, it's
I'm like, I
unbelievable.
can't even believe it, but this is amazing.
Yeah.
So glad to see it.
It's like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's
Nice.
so stressful. I mean, the parents. It's stressful on the parents. It's
Yeah.
stressful on us too. But there's just only so many people that can bowl. So and it's not a tournament because people are always like, can't you do squads? And you can't really do squads, right? Because
We will
it's
have
not
to make
fair.
it longer.
Yeah.
More days will be harder
Exactly.
for the people to travel, for the parents to be there with the kids. So I think the format right now is good, even though
Yeah.
it's limited.
Right.
But also because you guys have so many through the year.
Mm-hmm.
So
In different parts of the country, especially this year. Leanne really tried. She had like a map at her desk,
Mhm.
and she was putting pins. Like, okay, well, is this?
Try away.
Yeah, do I have everything covered? And every year we miss a couple areas, but because it's a big U.S., it's a big country.
Maybe we get to have you guys in Aston.
We would love to. Texas is
amazing.
one that we try every year. We're trying to find new places to go. We went to Fort Worth a couple times in
Yes.
Texas, so we've talked about maybe going back. But it's the other thing is like some centers we get locked out of because there's not enough lanes.
Agree.
But there is a section on the stormbowling.com/SYC now where if you are a bowling center or if you're a parent listening and you have a bowling center that wants to host, there's a section where you can apply
nice.
now,
Perfect.
which is great because I think there's centers out there like this All-Star Lanes. We never would have come here had it not been for Amy.
Amy.
Yeah, and
Josh
Amy
is
really
amazing.
worked hard to. She said, you have to come here, and we're so happy. Like it's a great event,
Yes.
and they take care of this bowling center. So I think there's more bowling centers out there that we may not know about.
Yeah.
But
And then, they might not know even how to get there. So it's great that
Exactly.
you mention it. It's
yeah,
on the website. You can
Yeah.
apply.
yeah, we
you
just
guys go
added
through the
that this year
Nice.
because we were like, we need a place where people can. we need a place where people can sign up. Looks like we didn't write down our scores.
Sorry.
Yeah,
They're still up there.
they are. It's so
But almost
funny.
everyone is finishing.
Yeah, we are getting close. We're getting close to done. So it looks like our friend Landon, who's throwing the IQ Tour Ruby, he's
Going
having a stellar game here.
Yes. I definitely saw balls like that looking good. Just like lower differential ball on balls.
Yeah.
They gave you more room for error. Even though, like, if hooking and going around the carry down wasn't gonna work, then that was the other choice.
He got
Come
that one.
on.
Wow, that tried
Came
to come back. Wow.
It was a good game though. 224.
224. Wow, Clara, we're done.
Yay!
Yes.
It was so nice to have some time with you.
I
and to see the
know.
kids.
I feel so
Thank you.
happy that we are hanging out this weekend. The kids are so lucky to get to hang out with you and Steph.
thank you.
So thank you for being part of the SYC this weekend and giving back to the sport. Because what people may not know is you're volunteering your time. So thank you for being
Yes,
here.
it's a pleasure. It's
Yeah.
very inspiring. It's rewarding to see some of the kids that I have coached doing good,
Sure.
and to be able to give back, like you said. Like I
Yeah.
think the seminar yesterday, the Q&A went great.
So
and
great.
we get to share some of the experiences that, sometimes we keep for ourselves, but that could mean so much for a youth bowler. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to be part of it. I'm looking forward for another one in the future.
Yeah, us too. All right, everyone. So we will be back tomorrow. The squad starts, or the round starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I get an extra hour of sleep. Yes.
Love it.
And then we'll have 5 more games on the long, and then we'll award some champions. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching. This has been a live stream of the SYC Louisiana from Baton Rouge. The preceding has been produced by Storm Bowling. For more information on upcoming events, please visit stormbowling.com. Once again, thank you for